so we're up and our show is on.
What happened?
Wait, we're live right this second?
Yeah. The computer
Why, what happened?
froze.
Well,
Oh, my
damn.
God. All right, let me close this door. Oh, my God. You know what? That's not...
Jay Thomas, who's that? This doesn't even sound like a radio show.
The new Tom Hanks, the new Tom Cruise trailer. To see, to read the, the secret Scientology signs that he has in there. People say that if you watch a Tom Cruise trailer, he always has secret Scientology secrets in there.
Ooh.
I wouldn't even know what one
it's like
was.
Disney with sex and drugs.
Here's what is amazing. If you go into any of it, if you walk in, you walk into the deal and you're having, troubles in your life and everything else, and your marriage isn't going well, or your kids aren't doing well, or you're not doing, and so somebody explains one of these religions to you. Well, 400 million years ago, these space people came down and they inhabited this a volcano, and this is the true story of Scientology. And then all the souls or something went into the volcano, and then they came out, and then we all live again. And the guy goes like this, yeah, okay. I mean, you talk about a club that if it was going to have me as a member, I would want to be a member of. I mean, it's almost like, the jokes they make. I mean, I feel the same way about Christianity. So it's based on what now? Well, this guy was preaching peace and love and all, and everybody said, well, where's the army of angels that's going to, save us from our slavery? And they put him up on a cross, and they crucified him and killed him, and then they put him, and he 3 days later rose up. He what? He rose up. He was dead, and he rose up. Wow. Has that ever happened again?
Praise
Nope.
Jesus.
No. Has it ever happened again? Nope. Why? Well, he's the only one that could do it. Oh. I got you.
That's
and his mother didn't have sex. She was a virgin. Mm-hmm. Well, how'd the baby come? God impregnated her. Really? Can you imagine Joseph telling the boys down at the pub, that one, down at Little Egypt's, over at, Bethlehem Bar and Grill, Garrett. I did that one night as a stand-up. I did that joke. I thought it was great. I did my impression of Joseph going into the bar at the Bethlehem Bar and Grill and talking to his buddies, and they go, hey, man, what's going on? He said, well, Mary's pregnant. Really? The little 14-year-old girl you're married to, and you're 52? You know that, don't you? Joseph was like 52, and Mary was 14. That's what they figured out. And he goes, yeah. And, we have not consummated because he was promised, just like they do now. They don't deal with any of this. It's not like everything was suddenly different. I mean, Jewish people, Arabs, whatever, they were promised, just like they are now, and they have the honor killings and all that stuff in the Middle East and in India and everything. That all started right there, around, Galilee or wherever he came from. And so it was really quiet in the club. It was so quiet. And he said, yeah, and what now? Well, we haven't had sex, but she's pregnant. Well, are you kidding? What are you going to do? How? It's God. Yeah. My wife's pregnant for the Son of God. Cool. When he left the bar, can you imagine? What the fuck is that? The fuck is that? And they're in the Middle East, and everybody looks like Osama bin Laden except darker. Everybody. And their kid comes out with flowing, like auburn hair, white skin, and blue eyes. He looked like Lawrence of Arabia more than Jesus, okay? So somebody from like Switzerland had to come down and nail her if that's what Jesus looked like. I mean, they say, well, they changed it, but he really was a different looking, person. But you hear that story, sign me up. The story of Mormonism. Sign me up. He found a hat, he found some plates. It's just hard to believe. Joel Osteen?
Yep.
He was pranked recently. The minister was pranked. Somebody put on his Twitter page that he had forsaken Jesus and all this kind of stuff, and they said all these things about him. And he said, well, I can take a joke, and, everybody knows I love the Lord, and all of that stuff, I mean, he wasn't even going to make any rough statements against the pranksters. This guy is so in it for the money. I mean, you don't even know he's talking about God. He's so in it for the cash. It's unbelievable. I mean, how can you not? If right now we came to work and you were, with me, and there are 15,000 people sitting in an arena to hear me speak, and they're giving you money, and they are, sending you checks and everything else, we would go in that back room. There wouldn't be enough. Our hands would be blistered from the high fives that we'd be giving each other. I just find it hard to believe that in their quietest times, Joel Osteen and all of these evangelists don't know that they're full of shit. They have to. That's why we couldn't do it, because we could make a ton. I mean, we could just start it and it would happen, And I would just give some speech like, what's that guy's name? Coon Dog, or that DJ, what's his name?
Greaseman?
No, wait, what's his name? He was in Chicago.
Cowhead? Man-Cow?
Man-Cow, that's it, Man-Cow. He just turned right-wing and went religious one day, and everybody bought that shit, Yeah,
it'd be easy to start. But then once you meet the people that are dying of cancer and they're like, I'm not taking medicine because you prayed for me, how do you deal with that, That's
Slap
where
five.
it gets to you.
That's low. That's down
You
low.
wipe your ass
like
with
this.
a $100 bill and
No,
forget
you know what you
about
do? I put my palm just behind my ass, and Christina just gives me a light nail tap. You know what I mean? So you'd be Sister Christina. Garrett would be Brother Garrett.
Sister Christian.
Sister Christina. You'd be Brother Garrett, and I would be Father Jay. Oh, yeah. Unbelievable. And, man, I could, I'll tell you what's funny. Last night, I'm cleaning out my office, and I have VHSs, and I'm putting them all on DVD. I'm editing down all the scenes from TV shows and talk shows. I looked at me on Jay Leno last night, which I had not seen in many years, and Jay quit having me on because of the Letterman thing. But it's really a funny one. I go in there and talk about my vasectomy, and I'm going to put all this on the website, and I got to hire a guy, and I'm doing all this stuff. My wedding video was in this pile of 100 and something VHSs, and I throw this wedding video on. We had gone out of our way to find. My wife's dad was Jewish, and the mother was a Protestant, but they became communists, and then they became Quakers, which really isn't a God thing, and she didn't want to have all the God stuff. And my family was Catholic, just knee-jerk and all. So we told this Presbyterian minister, we wanted to get married, but we didn't want all that God stuff, right? So we wrote some vows and all, and all that. Well, I'm looking at this thing. We must have been in shock that we were getting married. This guy couldn't mention Jesus or God or the cornerstone of Christianity enough. And I didn't realize it. I guess, you're so nervous when you're getting married, And he went on and on and on, and the cameraman would zoom in on my father-in-law and mother-in-law, who were divorced, but who were forced to stand next to each other. And of course, they're both, atheists, right? So they were like gulping and looking at each other, and her sister was looking at her. And this is all on camera. A buddy of mine was like, had hired the guy to do the thing. And I didn't even realize it. I mean, it was, now my relatives and my Catholic relatives, Garrett, they all had their heads down. They're making the sign of the cross. You know, this is all normal shit to them. But this guy was really talking about God and now in our vows, we didn't do any of that, love and obey. We did stay with sickness and health. We did that one. Through richer and poorer. We did that one, you know, but we didn't do obey. That went right out the fucking window. Obey. But it was fun to look back at that, you know. And there you are marrying, you know, this incredible piece of ass that you know, been having a great time with. I went home last night and I said, where's that girl? Where is she? Where is she? Yeah.
She probably said the same thing about you.
I went over there and when I kissed her last night, when I pulled back, my mouth was filled with this green facial mask crap she had on. So I'm going, pff, pff, pff. What does that stuff do? What does it do? It pulls out the blackheads? What does it do? You put that. Yeah,
that's part of it. It exfoliates and.
I watched the entire movie last night that Lou Pellegrino, God rest his soul, had bought I had just come to work here, and he knew who I was, but, you know, because he knows ancient shit. And we've been working just a few months together, and he goes to the drugstore. And in this pile, this bin of 99-cent DVDs, sitting on top is a movie that I'd never even seen, but I knew I did with Shelley Long, called The Adventures of Ragtime, about us kidnapping this miniature horse. He bought it for 99 cents. And I had the DVD on my desk for all these years. I've never looked at it. Last night, I looked at it. I'm putting out, and I'm going to, you know, edit out all the other people. But Shelley Long and I were kind of funny. The movie was horrible. And when we did the movie, the horse didn't talk, but the guy must have, you know, tested it or something, Garrett. So then the horse talked in the verse. That finally went seemed life to me. That's right. That was right toward the end of the movie, you know. And all the other poor bastards that needed work were in it. By the way, yesterday we were ending the show. And Julie Ostro came on, and she is the American Laughing Champion, and the show was over, and she was just starting to tell us about laughing. And I said, let's start the show tomorrow with a laugh. That's kind of one of those, you know, two-sided little joke things that you do. And so let's go to Julie Ostro. Welcome back to the show. Apparently, you're not that busy, so you're available. You're really. Yeah, you're available. By the way, these laughter competitions, ultimatelaughter.com. Now, Julie, years ago, wasn't there a doctor, was it Norman Cousins at UCLA or something, that he would cure cancer and all sorts of illnesses with laughter? Just, he would show Three Stooges, which I've never found funny, or Abbott and Costello. A little bit, you know, once I was past 12, I didn't like him. But, you know who he was? Norman Cousins?
Exactly. I do. And hi. How are you, by the way?
Yeah.
You have
well, that the hello is not necessary, is it? The hello, the salutation. Yeah.
Norman Cousins actually is someone that we reference a lot in the Humor Association that I belong to, the AATH.
Wait a minute now. What is the AATH? What is that?
The Association for Applied and Therapeutic Humor. Yeah, it exists. When I say Humor Association, to people, I usually follow it up with, I'm not making this up.
Right. I can tell.
You should have made it spell ha-ha or something. Tee-hee.
Oh! You know what?
Garrett's good. Garrett's good at the tee-hee would be good. You know, I don't know how you do it, but you need to redo it. So I agree with that.
Oh, the spelling of the association is just ass?
Yeah, it ought to have like tee-hee or ha-ha or hee-hee or something in it like that. Yes, I do. I agree with him. Because what is it now? AATH?
Yes, and the website is aath.org.
Oh, God. Could you make it any more somber? I mean, really.
People are dying, and we're going to help them.
You know, you need to go. I want to say Seattle or San Francisco, and I hesitate to bring these people on. These individuals are now promoting a death cafe.
Really?
Yes. Where people go to a restaurant or to a coffee shop, and they either close it down or they go in the back or whatever, and they talk about death, because Americans don't discuss death. And there's always some German or, European,
is that what we're going to talk about today? Because I can,
yeah.
Maybe I'll be the American depressing champion.
Well, I was thinking of doing it in a funny way. Like, how about a dirt nap luncheon? You know what I mean? I would, do it like, how about this one? Terminal tapas. That's what I would have. Well, you go in and you terminal and you have tapas all day, I think it's so, but they say that if you laugh a lot, what does it do? It gets your enzymes going or something and it cures you?
Your endorphins. So it gets your endorphins going. That's the positive drug, the real drug, the real positive stuff that's going on through your body.
Now, isn't, and correct me if I'm wrong, isn't an endorphin really an enzyme with fins like a dolphin?
Sure, yes.
I believe under the microscope.
Sure, yes. For today's talk, yes.
Dolphins? Yeah. Okay, absolutely. Now, were you a happy kid, or did you come from a family of the drunk father and the mother that was mentally ill, and you had to laugh because your life was so horrible? She's the laughing champion, by the way. You know what I mean? Like, you were just sad and it was awful and one leg is shorter than the other, or you got, something wrong, clubfoot, what, you were born with two sets of organs.
Burn victim.
What is it? What kind of victim? You burn victim, something like that. And you know what? One day you got out of your wheelchair and you went, I'm going to laugh. I'm going to not be sad. What's your background? Tell me.
I can't top that.
No, you're not supposed to top anything. I want to hear your life story. You are the ultimate laughter champion. You're the American laughing champion. And you're even with throwing your head back and you have your hand over your heart, just like laughers do. And we'll hear about that contest in a minute. You're from Chicago, but let's hear a little bit about who you are.
Well, I am a Midwesterner. I am the youngest of 6 kids, so that'll tell you right there why I'm slightly demented. Growing up in a big Catholic family, there's a lot of guilt involved as well because of the Catholicism. That's always fun.
Catholicism was one of the horrors in your life?
Yeah, that's why I call myself a recovering Catholic.
I see. Yeah. Now, laughter, when you do laugh, you do feel better. Now, do you just do it? Is it like meditation? You just laugh?
You know what's really cool about that question, Jay, is that just at the AATH, there it is, conference again, this conference this past week, it talked about how the chemicals that are going on and released in your brain while you're laughing, it's the same makeup as when you're meditating.
Well, that's what laughologist Albert Nirenberg says, isn't it?
Exactly, and that's whose keynote I learned that from. And he's the one who created this competition as well. So you probably saw that in the info, too.
Now, he says that, now, Garrett, before attacking each other during stare downs, MMA fighters often crack up. Is that true, Garrett?
Yeah, he kept claiming that, but I've never seen it.
I've never seen that either. Julie, these guys look at each other and they're not laughing. You know what I mean?
Well, here's the deal. He showed during his keynote before the actual competition, Albert had shown photos that he had taken of fighters. And although they might not crack up, but there's a brief moment when they're smiling staring at each other, they end up smiling at each other. So it might not end up in a huge guffaw, but at least there was that smiling. And
that's more like, I'm going to kill you. Like that. Oh. That's more the maniacal laughter of Jeffrey Dahmer laughed before he ate people.
We don't know, Dave. How do you know that?
Well, we had the guy on that knew him in prison, didn't we? Who'd we have on? We had a guy that talked to him, wrote books with him, and everything else.
The lead detective in the case.
Lead detective is the greatest guy in the world. Big laugher. Big laugher. He'd call for Chinese food. They'd send over some poor little bastard from Vietnam or Korea on a bicycle. He'd be delivering the Mugu guy or whatever he wanted to eat, and then he'd invite the kid in. He'd have a few laughs with the kid, and then eat the kid's foot.
Did he take chopsticks around the foot?
Yeah.
By
the way, Julie Ostro in Chicago, the best maniacal laugh, the best snort laugh, the best multiplex guffaw, the best hug laugh. Also, she won the laughing duel and the best laughing fit. Now, how many people did you compete against?
It was just me. No,
You were the only contestant?
I'm a winner in my book, guys.
That's funny. You are funny. Well, that's good. And what do you win? What do they give? Do they give you a trophy that has somebody just a big mouth laughing?
You know what? It was a trophy. There is a photo which I could send you. The trophy is a good-sized trophy. To give you an idea, I carried it on the plane with me from San Diego back to Chicago. I'm sitting in my seat, and the top of the cup hits the top of my knee. Almost.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, it says here that in your final battle, your laughter duel, there was a guy who was almost he was a 7-foot tall mime from San Diego. Was he on stilts, or was it really a 7-foot tall guy?
I don't know if it was an exaggeration, but I did look like a midget against him, and I'm short anyway. But I don't know if the 7 feet description was an exaggeration. But it's kind of cool that the mime was laughing, don't you think?
You know something? I mean, this isn't just a joke from TV or from the movies. People really hate mimes. And they are stupid. I hate to see them in the parks. I mean, you don't see them like you used to, thank God. You know, Robin Williams, who I can't stand, and I worked with, and is a complete asshole.
I'm working Mindy, right?
Yeah. Well, people say, he was all coked out. Oh, really? Well, what's his excuse now? But anyway, he was a mime. And so I meet him, and he's doing all that walk against the wind. And who was the famous French guy that never spoke?
Marcel.
Yeah, that was another one. People would go, "Oh, look, he can walk." People don't like mimes. Don't like mimes at all.
Did you kill all of them? Is that why we don't see them anymore?
No, I think people don't like them, and I think they stopped putting money in their fake hat, or whatever they were doing. What's taken over now? Soapbox comics, guys that just do kind of stand up or rap, or the little black kids that like that. I mean, in New Orleans, they do all kinds of tap dancing and jumping up and down and flipping and everything else. And there'll be a mime next to them. Nobody's around the mime. No one. Maybe a kid who wants a balloon animal. That's about it. Yeah. I went to a thing recently where one of these kids was doing a rap, and he made his balloon animals, he made them with black balloons, and they all look like guns.
Ew.
Yeah. Very cool.
Very cool.
So
nice.
he completely wiped out, Garrett, the mime's balloon animal concession. Who wants a wiener dog when you can have a black balloon gun? Come on.
Oh,
okay, boy. Now, so Julie, do you go there? You're the winner, and now what? What do you do for a living in Chicago?
I'm a swim instructor, and I also have
a. You're a swim. You mean swim or swing?
Swim.
What? I didn't know. Like a swing dancer or a swimming instructor? Why are you laughing?
And I don't swing. I didn't know if you meant.
You're a swim instructor, so you're in the pool all the time. Wow, even in the wintertime, you teach little kids so they don't drown, right?
Exactly. And from 3-year-olds to 63, actually.
There are some older people that don't swim. I'm gonna tell you a true story. In California, Florida, and Arizona, I don't know why not Nevada and other states, but in these 3 states, we have the highest rate of children under like 10 years old or 8 years old drowning. I mean, it's really horrible. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, did O.J. Simpson not lose a child before his debacle to drowning? I mean, some famous athlete did it. I mean, didn't recently some famous person's kid end up at the bottom of the pool?
Lou Costello, some kid drowned in his house, right? Tommy Lee.
Tommy Lee had the same thing. So
Heidi
one
Klum
day
saved her kid from drowning.
She just saved her kids, but this is about pools. It's about backyard pools.
It's not about bathrooms, it's about pools. We're talking about pools, not laughter, right?
So we have 2 sons, right? My wife and I have these 2 sons, and one of them is 5, and the other one is 3. So friends of ours are saying, you got to we did everything we were told. We got nannies. We did it all. We went to the baby instruction thing and had all these natural births and all this shit, no drugs. We did whatever every other cliche asshole was doing in Hollywood. We just followed along. We went to Portland, Oregon. We hired a nanny from the Nanny Institute. I'm not kidding. It's there now. The stupidest shit you can imagine. We did. Now comes the swimming instructor. He was an ex-Marine, and the woman said, he's really tough, but if your kid falls in the pool by himself, this guy saves kids' lives. I don't know if you know this type of teaching or not. And so the guy comes to the house. My wife's very protective of the kids. The 5-year-old, goes along with the program. And the guy puts him in the pool. It's really scary. And teaches him how to relax and, I guess, float or whatever. Right. And compose himself in this, tumbled situation. And he finds his way to the side of the pool where he takes the 3-year-old and he says to my wife, I'm sorry, but you can't be at poolside while I'm teaching the kids. And my wife says, why not? Because he said, I'm going to teach it. They're not going to be happy. Meanwhile, the 3-year-old is now screaming for his mother, right? Climbing over the old Marine, right? Now, he's not well to this day, and this may be one of the causes. But, the Marine guys, so I say to my wife, come on, let's go inside. We go inside, the screaming continues. The other one's swimming like a friggin' fish and going to the side of the pool. The little one is screaming and screaming. This guy takes him, brings him in the pool comfortably and everything else, shows him how to float and everything else, leaves him alone for a moment, there's more screaming, then takes him to the side of the pool and throws him.
No.
Yeah. Throws him into the swimming pool. I'm not kidding. He did it to the 5-year-old too. Throws him into the swimming pool. The kid comes up, I mean blood-curdling, and we lived in kind of a little valley, and you could hear the screaming. It's like when they were killing, I watched, what's the one when they, who's the Jew hater actor? What's his name? Jew hater. He's always getting arrested.
Mel Gibson.
Jews. Mel Gibson. Yeah, when they were drawing and quartering Mel Gibson in whatever that movie was, I was
Braveheart?
watching it. Yes, Braveheart. That's the kind of shouting my kid was doing. Braveheart, drawing and quartering, screaming. My wife comes running down to the side of the pool, and she says, that's it. It's over. And the kid is screaming. And this guy says to my wife, well, let me tell you when you're going to be crying. When they find him at the bottom of a pool. That's what he says. Now, do you teach like that?
Absolutely not.
Oh. By the way, I love this guy, and I'll tell you why. Life is difficult. Falling into a pool by yourself at night, being 6 years old or whatever, you better have had some sort of Marine-type training. And I'm just going to warn you of this right now. Don't just teach them to swim. Teach them to survive.
Exactly.
Right. Now, do you ever laugh underwater and choke and can't come up?
No, because I'm actually a former competitive swimmer.
Really?
So,
you must have an incredible physique. I mean, really? I mean, you got to be tight.
I'm 7 feet tall.
Yeah. I like that. swimmer's
I'm a very
body.
strong swimmer. I'm a very strong
Are you a
swimmer.
stocky swimmer or are you a lanky swimmer?
What is lanky? Lanky is you
Tall.
could snap someone in half if they're really too thin, right?
No, lanky is just, you're sinewy, A lot of swimmers are, or you could be stocky, stocky swimmer.
Not stocky. You get some muscle tone.
Okay, you're muscle toned. Okay, good.
Yeah. But I do laugh with the kids. What's really cool is whether they're 3 years old or 15 years old or even adults, I laugh with them. And for a lot of the kids, they're afraid. But I laugh with them, eye contact, same thing with the laughter exercises, actually. So I incorporate the laughing in the exercises and with the swim instruction.
Okay.
Love it.
Can you teach us now, Christina, Garrett, and I, and the people listening all across this nation and perhaps through Canada, ships at sea, at a bar in Belize that I went to where they listened to Sirius XM, and a lot of places everywhere, and on the internet at SiriusXM.com, or those of you that have tuned in because you're on demand, all these people, can you give us some instruction about how to make our lives better through laughter? And teach us how to laugh.
Now, the one important thing to keep in mind is what might seem like fake laughter, and you think, oh, this is fake, this is ridiculous. The fake laughter turns into real laughter, and for me, it doesn't take long. It just takes a little bit for me to get going into a guffaw. And even if you're doing that fake laughter, you're still experiencing those benefits. What we're talking about, the laughter matching up with meditation, and also the endorphins, the little fins you mentioned going through your body.
Right, the endorphins. Yeah, that's right. So, you know what's funny? I'm working next Friday night in New Orleans, and I'm doing like a roast and some stand up, and I'm going to say that. I'm going to say, listen, pretend you're laughing at what I'm saying. It'll turn into real laughter. I'm going to open with that.
Yes, and even the smiling. Even if they don't feel like doing that fake laughter, that people know me well enough and I do the fake smile, if they know for sure it looks sarcastic. But still, my body's experiencing some good stuff going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, when you have to do a competition, it's kind of fake, but like what would be your best maniacal laugh? How would that go?
It starts out with, what's fun about the maniacal or the diabolical laugh, it's in three stages. It builds up. And you first make a statement like, I am the world's best laugher. Something like that.
Okay. Now the snort. You know who's a snorter? Christina, aren't you a snort laugher sometimes? Really, you don't snort laugh? No. What's your laugh, Christina? Let me hear your laugh. This one.
Oh wait, how am I supposed to just make myself? I am a great laugher.
That's good, isn't it?
I can't do it fake.
Okay, don't join the competition because I think you'd win.
Now, what about a snort laugh? You have a snort laugh?
Christina going to do that, or is that me?
No, that's you. She doesn't snort. No. What's your snort laugh? All right. Snort laugh. Now, what is a multiplex guffaw? This is a movie laugh at a film that's going on?
Yeah, have you seen Mary Poppins? Did you see the movie Mary Poppins? I'm thinking you did.
Mary Poppins?
Yeah, it was a part when Dick Van Dyke does the multiplex guffaw. He does this whole laughing fit.
Okay, let me hear that. I don't remember that. No, you know what? That's one of those movies that you saw it and you tried to erase it from your memory. You know what I mean?
Well, the reason it's fresh in my mind is because that was a joke, that was type of laugh that was presented to us on the spot.
I see.
Yeah, we got that on the spot, and Albert had shown us a clip of what it is. So that's why.
The Albert that says that MMA fighters laugh before they fight, that guy?
Yes.
Okay.
So he's a good guy. He's also a filmmaker and documentarian.
Oh, I'm sure he is. They're all filmmakers. They're all documentarians. They're all something. He's got a movie coming out called Boredom. It's hilarious. Boredom.
Boredom, yeah.
I have 2 movies coming out. Those aren't the titles, but that's going to be the reaction.
Now, do you want me to be in the theater? Because
I want you to be in the theater. Yeah, be in the theater. Give us your multiplex guffaw as your. Well, no, I have one more, but go ahead. Multiplex guffaw. Go ahead. You know what, Christina, you and I better never go down there. We will kill you people are rank friggin' amateurs compared to us. Now, finally, have a laughing fit, and we will say goodbye to the laughing champion of the United States, Julie Ostrow. There you go. UltimateLaugher.com. All right. That was great. Thank you, Julie. We'll see you later. All right. Bye-bye. See you later. Oh. Now, what's going on? I don't hear anything.
Oh, we're going to break?
Yes. God forbid, that's so perfectly produced. We're laughing, and you go, what are you doing?
You didn't throw it to break. You just said, see you
I
later
did.
to your guest.
Well, but we're laughing. It's production. My God.
Jay Thomas.
It's the Jay Thomas Show.
I'm my own man. I'll run this mother the way I want to.
The Jay Thomas Show. Afternoons. The Jay Thomas Show.
On Indy. Sirius XM 104.
Yeah, I was talking to you about these, you're not going to believe this, these death cafes in Atlanta, Georgia. They go to the Oakland Cemetery, and they bring food and have picnics at the graves or in the convention area or whatever, and they talk about death and dying. Now, you don't have to be dying. It's just that you're supposed to talk about, and then they'll say, well, you know, my wife or my husband or whatever, they don't want to talk about it. They're in denial and all that. The only thing that I think I ever say anything about death in my home is I want to make sure everybody has the passwords to where the money is. That's it. You know, like if I die, I have 1 million miles. I have over 1 million American Express travel miles. And I had to put that in my will and call them up and everything else. And I have an envelope with that kind of stuff in it, you know. And I have, you know, retirement funds, and I have other than that, until you're dying, I mean, you're going to go to the fucking cemetery and talk about death and dying. And like here in this little office park where I have my office, there was this woman who kept coming to me saying, I know you have teenage sons. I'd like them to become a part of our afterlife videos. I go, what's that? Kids, teenagers, high school kids, they go to people that are terminal and they interview them about life. I go, you send high school kids to people that are dying and they interview them. I said, my kids would never do that. She goes, why not? I go, because it's fucking creepy. She goes, it isn't creepy. We have 150. I go, well, maybe, but I wouldn't do it. They closed, thank God, and she's gone because she snubbed me, you know, or either that or she died. I have no idea. But they go to a cemetery. The concept is really simple. There's a place to talk about the issues surrounding death while drinking tea and eating delicious cake. Miles Underwood developed the idea. Talking about death leads to authenticity. I think once you are facing death, I think once you know it's going to happen, I think it just fucking sucks. And I don't want to talk. I wouldn't want to talk to anyone. I just want to curl up in a fucking ball, and I would have to try and figure out when the pain is going to be really bad or when I'm not going to be able to move, whatever the fuck it is. So I'd like to go to one of these death cafes and blow my fucking brains out right in front of them.
Sounds like you're talking about death right now, though.
I am.
Probably what they do.
I don't think they'd like to hear what I'm saying.
You're at a death cafe right now.
Wait a minute. But you know what? There's a channel. Sirius XM's Death Cafe. Didn't we used to have something? The coffee shop, the coffee house?
We still do.
Okay. At a typical death cafe, facilitators, God, I hate that term, facilitators move around the room and they monitor conversations to identify anyone who might need counseling. They pull them aside and tell them where to find help. Now watch this. You're going around here, a guy go, have you ever wanted just to get, like, I don't know, a person and just put your hands around their neck and see what death felt like in your own hands? Could I see you for a moment, please? You might need help. You might need a little help. Okay? I mean, what?
You think getting kicked out of the death cafe would lead you to even kill more people, though?
You'd want to come back.
That's like the last hit the bottom step.
How about this? You all go and you just watch The Walking Dead. You just watch that. Or the Twilight or the zombie movies or something. I don't know. Just weird. One of the women there says she believes that death cafes will soon take on a life of their own. I know many people who are attending will find out about it, hear about us talking about it, and they're going to want to start one. A death cafe. I don't think so.
Is it legal to hang out in the cemetery? I never thought it was.
You'd have to book it. My dirt nap dinners, my terminal tapas. How about this one? How about a kick the bucket buffet? You like that? Come to Jay Thomas's. How about this one?
Fill and then kick the bucket.
If you're on the go, under takeout.
Ooh, I love this. This is really starting to come together.
What if you go to visit your mom's grave and there's people having a party, drinking tea and eating cake on top of it?
No, and that's not
a little offensive.
That's not going to be good. Arnold Palmer was at the Masters, and he ordered an Arnold Palmer. I'm not joking.
I'm sure that's why it was.
If you see him drinking anything else, then he's ruined.
Well, of course, everybody knows this. A John Daly is iced tea, lemonade, and a quart of vodka. That's the John Daly. Now, Tiger Woods has iced tea, lemonade, and 18 pubic hairs.
Oh, yeah.
Is
Tom Collins there?
Now, Christina, there are these people and you love celebrity stories, there are these image changers, and they charge an immense amount of money. And a person is accused of something, or a lot of people in the finance business who have been accused or indicted or whatever, they hire an image consultant. A person before they're going to jail will hire an image consultant, a person that's had a scandal.
Mm-hmm.
And
is it another option from witness protection?
No. It's a big, huge money thing. Let's say you're Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan, if she starts to make more money, and she might have already done it because the other night apparently she was very good on Letterman.
Friggin' Charlie Sheen. Thanks a lot.
They hire an image consultant, and the woman or the man, the group sits with you, and they look at your image, they talk to you, and they tell you, and they take testing and all this other thing. Now, generally they're full of shit. But you will notice, like in every newspaper today, in every Hollywood blog, you will see Julia Louis-Dreyfus for the next 2 weeks. And I'll tell you why. That show, Veep, is horrible. It is awful. She's playing some version of Elaine Bennis that she also played in the show that wasn't any good, whatever that sitcom was. And now this,
the old Christine or something like that.
Oh my God, that was so awful. And so now this show is terrible because she's playing the same person and they were kind of saying it's a feminist thing. I'm thinking, what? It's completely stupid, right? There's a publicist there, there's an image consultant, and she's saying she's the producer, she's the this, she's the that, and I'm reading it going, and what, 8 stories hit within 2 days? That isn't a coincidence, right? Or the cover of this or the cover of that. Tiger Woods has hired an image consultant. He and an Olympic skier, Lindsey Vonn, who, by the way, is wilder than shit. Wild. First of all, she's a daredevil. You ever been out with a daredevil, Garrett? Ever dated a woman that did wild shit?
Never.
They aren't just crazy skateboarders or divers or athletes or whatever. They're fucking wild in real life. I mean, I've had girlfriends like that, and man, it's fucking a little scary. You know, it's like, holy shit. You know, I don't even know if I can control this shit, right? You know, it's like dating a woman who goes, "Oh, I can hold my liquor." That's a very bad, thing to say to someone, right? But so Lindsey Vonn, who's wilder than shit, Tiger Woods and Lindsey Vonn have a portrait, Christina. They have taken an official portrait.
Don't you think it's a little too soon for that?
It's not too soon. It's his new image. Yes. For them, yes, I do. Mm-hmm. She is whiter than the snow she skis on, okay? Going down on him for her must be like finishing off a mochaccino, okay? It must be like sucking the last drops of the foam on the mochaccino, okay? Will you ever forget, as long as you live, when you hear Tiger Woods' name, what he did? Ever, Christina?
Never.
No matter what is it. Let's say he marries Lindsay and they have 4 kids.
Doesn't matter.
And it's 10 years. Okay. I agree.
I'm Sicilian. I never forget.
It's not just that. No one will ever forget, okay? Even in the articles, they go, and of course in November of 2009, a crash that led to the revelations of his serial infidelity and ultimately cost him his marriage and millions of dollars of endorsements. Woods is now slowly rebuilding his life. Here's his quote. "Life is about having a balance." Are you kidding? Trying to find equilibrium and not getting things one way or the other. And right now, I feel very balanced. They've told him to say balance. Here's another one. This is another interview. Ready? "I think it's just a balance in life." I think that's what you're seeing in the way I'm playing golf. They show him with his little daughter, which is nice, picking flowers with his little daughter, while Charlie hits golf balls with Daddy on the par 3. They have a 3-hole golf course behind their home in Jupiter, Florida. That's totally normal. And then, of course, he plays tennis and colors with little Samantha. And then they get in the private jet and they fly back home to mommy. I mean, it's
a lot
unbelievable.
different than your typical McDonald's parking lot drop-offs that I see on a daily basis.
Thank you.
Do you think it works in the end, though?
No.
I feel like people see through it and know that it's fake or feel that it's fake. And then...
But who really cares? I mean, except for the people that are betting on him or that are the golf enthusiasts. Does anybody really even care?
The endorsements have left him, and they're saying now that if he gets the Masters, if he wins the Masters, he lost like $30 million a year in endorsements. He'll start getting some endorsements back. I'm sorry. He needs to be surrounded by women and winking and shit, okay? Winking and shit. He ought to do an ad where he goes, "I had one of the most beautiful women in the world, and I still needed other broads." And he goes, and he shrugs. "And I drive a Buick." Okay? He's never made fun of the fact that he had, in the United States, over 30 women. That's in the United States. He's world famous. What happened when he played in fucking Dubai? What happened when he went to I don't know, did he play in South Korea? He played all over Asia. Are you kidding? They must have been swinging on his penis like fucking, rhesus monkeys. Jesus. Here's another one. Justin Bieber has hired an image consultant. He's got a new video out called Spin Smart to teach young people sound finance. Lesson 1, make a budget. Can you imagine? This is this little prick who's trying to act like some gangsta, okay? He earned $55 million last year. In his new videos, Spin Smart Payments Company, which offers a prepaid debit card for teenagers. Oh, come on. The singer talks about his modest upbringing. When I was a kid, you know what? Try and find this.
Oh, him talking about his modest upbringing?
He actually says this. I learned if you have $100 or $100 million, if you spend more than you have, you're going to go broke. Hey, let me tell you something. When you have $100, that's going to be gone after about, 72 hours. Okay?
He rented out the Staples Center to go out on a date with Selena Gomez,
who he hadn't even screwed.
I guess it was in his budget.
That's just a power move. That's like taking your dad's old car out on the first date.
You know what? I don't know that he's gay or what he is, but what he is a nothing. He's asexual. He's completely invented by the fucking internet and his greedy fucking parents. And I feel sorry for the guy. It's not going to turn out well.
He had such great talent when he was a little boy on the drums, and then
he is going to end up
away from him,
like the little boy, the youngest kid from Family Ties. Was that the Michael J. Fox show?
Yeah.
Right? That I did?
Right.
That's what he's going to end up like.
Little Andy.
Let's try and find lesson 1, make a budget, Garrett, from this prepaid. You think I'd give my kids a fucking prepaid card? Are you kidding? Crash and Rexter, those two?
The Jay Thomas Show.
You have to humiliate for what?
It's fun.
It's the Jay Thomas Show.
Afternoon.
Indy. Sirius XM 104.
The Jay Thomas Show has been proven to cure leaky gut syndrome. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a new syndrome.
Is there a pill for that?
I don't know. It's you go gluten-free or whatever. Yeah, Jay Thomas Show, gluten-free. Please, if you feel up to it, give us a call at 866-99-INDIE, I-N-D-I-E, or our voice box is open 24 hours a day at 347-6-SIRIUS. For you that maybe don't have time in your busy schedule to talk to us while we're live on the air and want to comment about something, life, us, ask a question, and we will respond on the air. And to me, JThomasShow@gmail. Christina, you're on Facebook? How do they get to it? I wouldn't even know how to do it.
They can search you, or they can search me, or Garrett. Well, Garrett's
When I type in Facebook, and let's say I want to find someone I haven't seen in 20 years, and type their name in, and what I find out,
one might pop up. It depends, with how popular the name is.
Skelly Queller. There's only one of those.
I wanted to find that woman that I slept with who was 8.5 months pregnant last night. Wonder where she was living. Because that kid, is probably like 30 years old now, Garrett, and she could probably travel again.
With a dent in his head?
No, when he was born in they say he had defensive wounds on his hands. Blocking the penis. Okay, let's go to Biggs in Boston. Yes, Biggs, go ahead. Biggs of Boston.
Christina yesterday expressed her displeasure for men that were uncircumcised. So my question is this. Yeah. Gerard Butler, who was on Howard Stern, said he hasn't been circumcised. You would hook up with that dude?
I've had an uncircumcised penis before. I did not like it. Would I say no to Gerard Butler? No. Am I an idiot? No. I mean, I'd suck it up and deal with it for however many minutes, half an hour, whatever it may be. But I don't prefer it.
What? David Beckham isn't circumcised.
I don't prefer it, but I mean, if we're talking that level of stardom,
why are you bringing up big stars? Are you not circumcised, Biggs?
You are correct.
Well,
okay, guess what? I'll end this right now. Yeah, she wouldn't fuck you on a bet if you had 3 circumcised dicks. Get rid of him. Don't bring up people that are way past your fucking pay grade. I'd fuck Gerard Butler.
I mean, what a stupid question. Of course I'd fuck
If Gerard Butler came in, Garrett, and they put the fucking curtains around, Christina would go down on him, you'd lick his ass, and I'd tongue him while he was in the studio.
I'd pull the skin up, I'd pull the skin down. Fat fuck.
And then, you know what, Garrett? We'd switch off on him.
And then when I was done, I'd give it a little white.
Huh? Yeah.
I guess, guys.
Huh?
Don't act like you don't want to suck Gerard Butler's dick, okay?
You know what's good? You know what's good about an uncircumcised penis? When they do that flapping thing in the face, the little kind of the skin hits you in the forehead also.
It's a little padding.
Well, no, it's kind of like a ribbon. A little ribbon. A little, like it's like a whip, like a little tail on the whip. Let's go to, but the guy brings up all these.
It makes when you blow on.
You hear how angry he was? It had nothing to do with Gerard Butler. Who else did he mention?
David Beckham.
Yeah. You know why they're uncircumcised? They were born in the fucking country in some little fucking hut somewhere of people that didn't even, all they had was like sheep shears. That's all. Born in a goddamn fucking hut. Mark of Baltimore. Yes, Mark, go ahead.
Hey, Jay, so you don't know it, but you have serious bragging rights for the fact that Tiger Woods has taken your advice. He has actually done a commercial and gotten a new endorsement.
What is it?
Dick's Sporting Goods, and I'm not lying. I swear to God.
No bullshit. He didn't do Dick's Sporting Goods.
Have Garrett look it up. I swear to God.
No, tell me no. No, tell me it's a joke. Tell me.
Have Garrett Google it. Dick's Sporting Goods. I saw the fucking commercial. I almost shit myself. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Dick's
but does he smile at all? Does he?
He does like this kind of stupid joke thing where he walks over and he's pretending he works for Dick's, and the guy's like, oh, what about these golf clubs? And he doesn't want to talk to him. Can you get a professional? So then he comes back as Tiger Woods, supposedly, and the guy's like, oh, I'll take your advice. It's a stupid commercial, but it's shocking that it's...
Hi, yeah, is this the new Nike VRS Covert? Yeah, it's the world's first high-speed cavity bag. Same one the pros use? Yep. Positive? Let me go get some help. Could you? Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm talking to the right guy. I'll take it.
That's it.
Anything else? Did you know Tiger Woods was just here? Really?
Get fit for the Nike VRS Covert.
What'd I say?
At Dick's Sporting Goods.
Boy, that's a bad spot.
It's uncomfortable.
Dick's Sporting Goods.
I love it. Thank you, Mark of Baltimore. Thank you very much. Wow. Let's go to Matt of Dallas, Texas. And you'll find that my dad is from Texas, uncircumcised. There was a discussion. I was born in Texas. Apparently there was a discussion, but the doctors decided they had to circumcise me because the length of my penis would not have gone with the rest of my body. So it was done for cosmetic and architectural reasons. That they felt as though that the length of the penis and the drag upon my back would hurt me even as a child.
And this is not uncommon. I have the same problem.
Yeah. Now, are you circumcised or uncircumcised?
No, I'm circumcised. And I love it. It's the best thing. Who wants an ugly elephant trunk hanging between their legs? I got a story for you, though. I'll tell you this. Years ago, I had a friend of mine. We had met a chick, and she was wanting to get busy, So, we looked at each other and says, all right, let's do it. So, we pull down our pants. She starts sucking my dick. She goes over to him. She looks at him and says, are you fucking kidding me? She fucking kicked him out of the room. He sat there. So she was like disgusted. She almost threw up when she saw the gross cheese that came out of the head of his dick. I almost threw up. I tell you what.
You're making me sick with this phone call here. The cheese.
I haven't talked to the dude in 15 years.
You know what? Go on Facebook and find him, and
I've seen him already.
You know what?
Cheese Dick is doing?
Yeah. Put his name / Cheese Dick and see if you can find him among the other people. All right?
I have, and he is single to this day.
Of course he's single.
By the way, getting circumcised as a teenager or younger or even as an adult is supposed to be beyond painful.
Yeah, I mean, who the hell would want to do that at that stage anyway, man? That's like peeling the skin off your finger or something. Oh. But you know what? I mean, for real, the reality that they say you lose feeling and all that, I mean, dude, I can come in 2 seconds if the chick is hot enough. I don't lose no fire. If anything, I think I have better feeling. You know, I mean, that's bullshit.
Well, sometimes, you know, it's funny. You'll meet a woman and it looks like she could have used a little shaving, clipping, circumcision.
She's got a little deli sandwich down there.
Yeah, and I wonder sometimes, Christina, have you ever had a girlfriend that said she had, like, you know, meat curtains and wanted to get them fixed or something? I'm sure there is that surgery.
All of my girlfriends that have had babies keep talking about how they want to get their stuff pulled up and they feel like it's not the same even though they are sworn that it is.
No, it is. You know what? It doesn't.
It can't possibly be the same.
First of all, every doctor, every modern doctor, puts a couple of stitches in there after the baby's born to help her recover from, you know, the episiotomy, right? By the way,
where they cut the shoulders can fit.
When they cut that thing and the kid comes flying out of there like a fucking sausage, you know, wearing a hat rack, I got to tell you, it's scary. And then they stitch that back, and then they'll add a stitch. And it makes it, you know, back tight again. But no, I'm talking about, I've seen women where it was kind of, you know, it almost looked like a hemorrhoid, you know, like something coming out of them. But this wasn't about having a baby. And I was wondering if, you know, if women are ever, of course, men will go, oh no, it's good and all that. But sometimes it's a bit much. It's a bit much, you know.
Yeah, you gotta have a nice tuck up in there, you know. Can't have
yes,
yeah, it's like people with fucked up lips, you know. I got something hanging off their lip and shit. Nobody wants to touch that.
You know what's weird? When I see C-sections, they do wonderful things nowadays, too. My last girlfriend, I did her 3 years, and she never had a scar. She had both her kids with C-section, tied ass pussy. She's almost 40 years old. She's like a little girl almost. Wow. Well, that's good to hear, Matt. That's wonderful, Matt. Thank you very much. I hope you're not driving the kids to junior high anytime soon. That's Matt of Dallas. Thank you so much, Matt of Dallas, who has a gorgeous circumcised penis. Let's go to Bill of Michigan. Yes, Bill, unless you live way up there in the North Country, you're circumcised if you live down in like southern Michigan, right? Up there in the North Country, way up there where they have the cabins and all, that's where the people are uncircumcised, right?
You got it. Do you know what I heard what they do with the skin once they circumcise a person?
You're not going to tell me this joke or the old joke?
I don't know.
About the wallet and all that stuff?
No, not at all.
Okay, what are you going to tell me?
I heard Jews use it for chewing gum.
All right, get rid of him. Jews. That's a terrible. Let's go to Greg, who's in New York. I tell you what, we mentioned golf yesterday, phones lit up. We mentioned circumcision, phones light up. It's unbelievable. Meat curtain hasn't brought anybody in. No, yes, Greg of New York. Go ahead. Jay Thomas here. Don't forget the lovely Christina can be talked to. And do you speak personally to people on Facebook? And do you tweet them back and forth?
Yes, I do.
Not you, idiot. I'm talking about Christina. This guy, Greg, going, nah, I don't. You do. Well, that's cool. How many how many people follow you on Facebook?
On Facebook? Let's see. I don't know.
Thousands?
3,767.
Now, why do you think people wouldn't want your eight? I mean, I've been trying to tell you to do this, and Garrett too.
Yep.
Make a picture that you can print on glossy, paper. Mm-hmm. I mean, and send them out when people want a copy of a picture, like I do. I have stacks of these 8x10s, and you print them out. I mean, of course they want them.
Okay. If they want them, sure.
But they do want them. It's silly not to have them. Yes, Greg of New York, go ahead.
I was going to say, there's two reasons you would want to, well, after you saw it, you would not get your kids circumcision. And that's first is when they botch it, which I've seen, where they end up removing the tip accidentally. And the second is
Wait a minute. The doctor removes the tip accidentally. Where would that be? At some sort of, no, that's the, what is it? Yesterday it made a lot of people laugh when I said my sons have two throbbing frenulums. You're talking about somehow they mess up the frenulum underneath the head of the penis. Yeah.
No, they cut it off. It ends up getting because they either there's infections or it gets cut off. But the other one that happens in New York, more often than you'd realize is when the Hasidim give it has happened several times the last couple of years. The Hasidim give circumcisions, and the mohel had like herpes on his lips, and they've had many. Well, I would say dozens.
Wait a minute. The mohel bites the skin off of the kid?
No, they do a thing called oral suction after they remove the skin to stop the bleeding.
What?
And it has killed several.
Do they swallow?
Wait a minute. Do they cut it with some sort of a knife and then he sucks the skin? Oh, that's weird.
Does he spit it out then, or does he swallow it?
Look it up in New York. No, it's the blood?
Yeah, I mean, like what happens after he sucks it out?
Wait a minute.
He just sucks out to stop the bleeding, but there's been several cases. I know, it's disgusting.
You know what? He puts his mouth on your... Listen, are these really weird people that wear the black hats?
Yep.
You know what?
And they don't even attend the ceremony. It's just the mohel and the baby and a bunch of elders. Like, the parents are not there. Because if they were there, I would imagine they'd take a fucking shotgun and put a bullet in these guys' heads.
And you know what else? I mean, don't you know there's got to be some weirdo pedophile guy that becomes the mohel? Of course.
There's one mohel back to the thing is it kills 20% of the children.
Oh my God!
I mean, and then you have a certain segment of them that have major central nervous system problems afterwards.
Every one of these Orthodox religions, I don't care what they are.
Agreed, before you even say what it is.
They're dangerous. It's just the most... I mean, it's okay. You want to believe in God. You want to believe in a supreme being. Nothing wrong with that. But it's... Now, listen. The other day in Kansas, because of... And they ought to overthrow this. They have made life begin at inception. There's no heartbeat. There's no formation. It's a blood clot. Well... Okay, at inception. Abortion, if you jerk off in Kansas now, that's an abortion. Literally, that's an abortion. Yeah.
That's what we'll get to.
It's unbelievable. They're going to probably throw it out. But so the girl gets pregnant in Kansas. She has no option now. That's it. Because there it is. It's not a blood clot. It's not. Oh, now they're doing a thing. What happens if the baby lives and is out of the body and the doctor kills it and all? I look at this stuff and I think, first of all, where does this shit happen and when? It's like 1/1000th of a percent, perhaps, or whatever. And I'm looking at it going, they act like it happens like every day, you know. Generally, an abortion should happen in the first trimester, you know, and like, when did you have yours?
It's not like everybody's running
Christina,
to go have an abortion.
When did you have yours?
Very few.
How many
My first abortion?
Yes. How many weeks?
6 weeks.
Yeah, that's good. 6 weeks. 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. That's fine. By the way,
for the emails on this
you know
one.
what? I had JT. I didn't know what to do. She wanted to get married. And after a while, it was too late. And I didn't have the money, and all my friends were driving with their girlfriends up to New York, and he needed $400. I didn't have any money. And so I had JT. Now, I'm glad I had him, and it worked out okay, but it was horrifying then, and it was ruining my life. Now, what's funny about JT is he's pro-life. Okay? I always wondered if he's ever knocked anybody up. I've never asked him. I wonder if he's ever knocked anyone up and they had an abortion. And I'll have to ask him that, because he always says, you would have aborted me. I go, yeah, and it just wasn't, I couldn't get it done, you know.
That's what happened with my third abortion, almost.
Yeah, that's nice.
Long story short, keep sharp objects away from your penis at all times, at any age.
All right. Thank you. Never let a rabbi suck the blood, Garrett, from your frenulum. your funnel cake. Let's go to Sean, who's in South Dakota. Yes, Sean, go ahead.
You remember that story you did 2 or 3 months ago where the rabbi was sucking the penises of the little kids to suck the blood off after he just...
You know what? I kind of thought Shuley was kidding about that. I have to be honest, that I remember hearing about it. But, Shuley fucks around so much. He was saying it, and I really didn't. I'm not kidding you. Until right now, I just kind of thought it was a Sandusky joke or something. I didn't really think that was true.
You guys did it on the air.
What?
You guys did that story on the air.
Yeah.
We talked about it, but I really found it hard to believe, or I thought it was that one guy did it. I just didn't think it was something that a group of religious people would do with any regularity. I have to tell you, I mean that. I can't imagine. Where is that in the Old Testament? And thou shalt suck the blood of the newborn child's ding-a-ling? I mean, come on. Come on.
Well, what's weird is they won't allow tattoos because it's cutting the skin, but that's exactly what circumcision is, and that's fine.
Well, you know what else? You can't have meat and milk, so he couldn't have a milkshake after sucking a freshly cut penis.
He couldn't suck on the nursing mom's boobs.
No, he couldn't go right home and drink mother's milk. Yeah, he couldn't have that, and if a lobster came by, he'd have to just let it keep walking. Okay, couldn't eat a lobster, can't have a shellfish. Thank you very much, Sean, South Dakota. Jason of Tampa, Florida. You guys are making my contract look really good because it states there in really dark, in capitalized letters, two-way comedy talk. Yeah. Jason, live, two-way comedy talk. Jason, so stupid. Yes, hello? Jason, go ahead. It's funny. I'm kind of being serious, and then you laugh and make me laugh.
If we put someone else on the line at the same time, three-way comedy talk.
You know what? Crazy. That costs more. That's another $50,000. Yes, Jason, go ahead. That's like, you know what that is? That would be like double penetration. I charge more for that. Yes, Jason, go ahead.
Yesterday you said something about a German Shepherd, and they were bred to
bred to bite or maim or kill Jewish people. And their cultural smell. I'm not kidding. I mean, I wouldn't have a German Shepherd on a bet.
All right. Well, I have a 90-pound German Shepherd.
Okay. You know what? Great. Congratulations. That is a racist dog.
Yes, and I have a small penis.
You know what else? Also, when I was a kid, and all black people were trying to do was eat at the counter of the fucking Walgreens or the Woolworth or whatever it was in New Orleans. They sprayed the black people with fire hoses, and they sicked German Shepherd dogs on them from the police. That's a breed I have no fucking interest in. None. That's a pit bull kind of a thing. I don't have any interest in it.
Well, the other day,
look, I'm sure your dog's nice, and I tell you what, do you live anywhere near Jewish people?
Well, no, this is a color thing. The other day, the Hispanic pool guy opened the door when the dog was out in the backyard, and he went after him and tried to rip his arm off. But the white.
Why don't you put that fucking dog to sleep?
Well, they weren't supposed to be in the backyard.
Oh, bullshit. You know what? By the way, you're going to pay huge money. I hope that guy sues you for 18 million pesos. How much is that, Gary? Is that $19? That's over $19. Yeah. He tried to rip the poor pool guy. You know what's great about Florida, and we're not Florida, but more than California. A guy said to me, he goes, I just came out to California. I'm driving around. I never see one owner of one of these homes on the water or with their pools. I never see a person outside enjoying this, incredible home. But these gardener guys and these pool guys, they look like they're having a fabulous fucking life. And I never thought of that. You could drive around my neighborhood. You will never see a person at their pool. You never hear the kids screaming, and you never see them sitting out looking at the ocean over their giant mansion. I'm not joking. Unbelievable. But the guys raking Garrett, the guys, they're loving it. They're loving it.
Well, our white log guy, Kay, did it. He was just perfectly fine with them.
All right, get rid of this guy. All right, I don't know where this is going. You know what? You can smell it, can't you, Garrett? You know what? You can smell it. Yeah. They're going somewhere. You think I'm stupid? Because you know why? You're not good at it.
You're not like a German Shepherd with racism. You could smell it coming.
That's right. I got the smell. Now, I didn't know this until I saw the movie Perfume, A Love Story, which is about a guy, Dustin Hoffman's in it, shot in France, I believe, or England. It's about a guy that is trying to make the most perfect perfume out of women's skin, the greatest scent ever, and he has the same scent as an animal, as a dog. And in the movie, have you ever seen this movie, Perfume, A Love Story?
No.
Oh, man, it's unbelievable. They show a dog at a big pot of beef stew. I didn't know this till I saw the movie. To the dog, it can smell the carrot individually, the celery, the potato, the juice, and the meat.
Mm-hmm.
It smells them individually. So it goes, it's not even looking at it. It just goes right for the meat. Right?
Yeah.
That's the kind of scent they have. And if they have something in their DNA, since they are olfactory, heavy, right? Animals are olfactory heavy. I believe that from their DNA, I believe that they have all kind of ethnic shit going on there. I tell you what, you wouldn't want to take your German Shepherd and walk by a Jewish deli.
So you're saying different races smell differently?
I think these animals have it in their DNA that they've been taught to attack that scent. That's what I mean.
Oh.
So you were like the caller trying to do a twisty.
But how would the dog know that a person's black or white by a scent?
Doesn't. It's in their DNA. They've been, for hundreds of years, this horrifying breed has been trained.
So you're saying black people smell different than white people?
No, I'm not. I'm saying we all have scents that you and I would never in a million years. And Jewish people smell differently. And Asian people. And Arab people.
What everyone smells. Yeah, every race.
To an animal. To an animal. Not to you and I. Unless we lived in the desert for 40 years and we had to sniff everywhere all the time. Okay? Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
It's like farts. We could smell them because it's a very poisonous gas. And if we weren't allowed to smell that, when it came up from the oceans, we would all die.
Dear Jay, this comes to Jay Thomas Show at Gmail. Well, I said, this comes from Mr. Toller. You are absolutely correct. But you know what? Democrats in the White House, and you're right about Tiger Woods, no one has ever said anything about the people at Augusta, ever, about racism or anything. And CBS uses the most tiresome line, a tradition unlike any other. That's right, a tradition, just like racism, just like apartheid. Robert Tyre Jones Jr., one of the club's founders. And then, of course, there was Bobby Jones, right? He never was a pro. Did you know that? Was always a amateur. Because to become a professional golfer was like being maybe an actor or a circus performer. It just wasn't something that a Southern gentleman did. Yeah, that's right. That's why he never became a pro. Plus, he didn't make a lot of money. And he won everything. But he was always an amateur, okay? Until 1975, African Americans were not allowed to compete until 1975. And the tournament was invitational. And Charlie Sifford had won the Greater Hartford Open, the Los Angeles Open, and yet Sifford didn't meet the qualifications. The tournament committee met, and then in his book, Just Let Me Play, Sifford writes that the word came back to the club's chairman, Clifford Roberts, said, as long as I live, there will be nothing at the Masters besides black caddies and white players. Now, he's the one that killed himself, isn't he?
Clifford Roberts, yep.
Yep, that's him. In 83, players were permitted to hire a caddy who wasn't black because they didn't want a white servant-type person on the golf course. I mean, this is fucking crazy. This is the greatest tournament in the world. Are you kidding? I wouldn't even drive by Augusta. You know? A Martian.
I had some guy tweet me yesterday. He snuck in, and they have motion detectors all over by every fence, and he was picked up immediately.
They have nothing but white drones flying overhead.
Did you see the Navy shot down a drone with a laser?
All right, you're not going to believe this. Okay, hold on a second. You're not going to believe this. Not a drone. They shot down a full-sized jet it was obsolete. I'm not joking.
Yeah, it was a trial run or something. Yeah.
Now, hold on a second. I've told you about my nephew who joined before 9/11 to get college money, right? And then 9/11 happens. And he, tested so high, and he says, there wasn't a lot of competition. Not a lot of people were joining, the Air Force or whatever before 9/11. It was kind of a slow time for the armed forces. So they say to him, look, you tested so high, and they put him in the computer thing. They make him an analyst. He's with the Air Force, but he's linked to the Navy. I mean, and he's a big deal. Big deal now, right? Well, he had been a big thing in the drone thing because he put some sort of program together in the computer that revolutionized how they did something with the drones or whatever. And I think he went as far as he could go in that, maybe smarter people or it got so big that they came to him and they said, okay, we know you're in the Air Force, but now you're going to be in the Navy and we're going to put you on a submarine. And they send him on this submarine. And he's about 32 years old. So I say to my brother, I go, I don't get it. He goes, yeah, they put him on a sub. Now, this is like a year ago. I go, what's he doing to the sub? He goes, he's doing something with laser weapons. I swear to God. I mean, I might have said it on the air.
Yeah, I think it did sound familiar when it came up. And I was like, didn't Jay mention that a while ago?
Yes. I pick up the newspaper. And there's this laser gun. My fucking nephew is a part of that deal. It's unbelievable. That's unreal. And by the way, they're now using drones to stop poaching of elephants and stuff, and rhinoceros and stuff. I love drones. I love them. Let them fly. I wish one would land in the goddamn garden out in front of my office right now. I go out there and kiss it. I'm not afraid of it. What have I done? Come in, search my fucking office. Oh my God, you found some marijuana. Put me in jail forever. Otherwise, I haven't done a fucking thing. Nothing to be afraid of. Put a tattoo on me. Take my fucking blood. Put a chip in me. You're not going to find me doing anything against the law. What are you right-wing assholes afraid of? You're up to something. You're all up to something. All of you that are afraid. Like the gun background checks. You're up to something. Up to some shit. I wish some congressman would stand up and have the guts in Congress to go, look at fucking Mitch McConnell, who just, said horrifying things about Ashley, great ass Lee Judd, and that she was mentally ill and all. I wish somebody go, what are you afraid of, Mitch? What in your background would us finding out that you want to have a 22 in your pocket, what would you be afraid that we would find? There's no answer to that question.
Medical records.
You can't do medical records. They should do them. If you're taking some fucking pills and shit, you shouldn't have a goddamn gun on you. So now in 1993, they could hire a caddy that wasn't black. God forbid a woman. If Martians came overhead and looked down, let's say they come and they landed at Augusta in like the 1970s. Yeah. They would have concluded that white earthlings hit a ball and then black earthlings fetched it. And then white men would swing a stick that black men carried. That's exactly what it would have looked like. That's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And my friends yesterday, they were driving there, both Jewish guys who, up until, I don't even know if there is a Jewish member. Maybe there's one or two. Condoleezza Rice is one of two women that were admitted. She's been there once.
If only she wasn't a black Jewish woman, they would have covered every base.
She isn't. Well, she needed to be, yeah. She needed to be. But, I mean, it's really, really awful. Really unbelievable, you know. So it's just, and they do pack the field with these past winners that have no chance of winning, you know.
Yeah.
I love when some, oh God, I have to tell you something. I hope a black Asian Jewish kid wins the Masters. That's what I hope. Yeah, they are racists. They are, and now look, this isn't the first time I've said this. I've said it forever. You know what? We're too forgiving. We're absolutely too forgiving. Hey, here's my favorite, and then we're going to take a quick break. The Japanese yesterday, they did this themselves. They said the North Koreans had launched a rocket. Did you see that?
I saw that.
Somebody fucked up, and they announced that a rocket was heading for Japan, and they went fucking batshit crazy. The fucking United States Navy goes on alert, right? And then they go, and I'm thinking, oh, really, Japanese? You're upset over a what? A sneak attack? Is that what you're upset about? A sneak attack? Where you kill innocent people on a Sunday fucking morning? The first fucking rocket ought to go right up fucking Hirohito's ass. First day. Good luck. And then the North Koreans ought to take the emperor's wife as a comfort woman. And instead of having meat curtains, Garrett, they should have meat skojies. You know what a skoji is?
I do not.
It's those paper doors that the Japanese have. You know, the doors that are wooden with the paper? Yeah. Big meat. There's some Japanese guy who's American, whose name is, Troy Kachimata, who's right now going, oh, that's funny. Oh, wow. Am I kidding? I haven't the faintest fucking idea. I don't know. There's 3 or 4 of me. In a little while, Cameron Bailey will be here. Now, Cameron is not in the South. In fact, not even in the United States, right? Cameron has done something that has caused such a, some people aren't even going to his place, and he's in Canada, okay? Is that right, Garrett? It's in Canada? Is that where we're going? Yeah, going to Canada. And he has done something that we've been talking about for the last couple of days, and he says the same thing. He goes, look, I just put it up there because, it's because of the food I serve, stuff like that. So now we're leaving the United States, and we're going to go to another country, and it'll all fit in. Plus, the phones, you can't get through. I don't know what's going on. They're going now. But you can't get through, okay? So, stay where you are. This show is long from over.
The Jay Thomas Show. It's the afternoon show. We will say what you are thinking. What can I say? The guy's good.
It's the Jay Thomas Show.
Jay Thomas. Indeed. Sirius XM 104.
Did I just tell you about McElroy, or did I say it on the air? I don't know what
one.
I did talk about it?
Big woman kiss?
No, I think I said it to you privately.
No, I'm pretty sure.
Did I say it on the air?
Yeah, that was the beginning of our last hour.
Are you sure? Okay.
Pretty sure, because I remember Googling it and seeing her. But I saw her from the front. She looked pretty hot.
Caroline Wozniak. Oh, no, she is hot. She's bigger than he is. Did you see the picture of them kissing? You've got to see the picture of McElroy kissing his caddy. She's got the hat on, and it's from the back, and it looks like You know, remember that guy that Tiger Woods had who had the blonde hair? His name was like Dusty or Fluffy or something like that. It looks like he's kissing Fluffy, you know, Tiger Woods' old caddy.
God.
Looks
I
just
see it where it's just she's wearing the hat and you can't.
Did we talk about this on the? I don't think we did.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I remember talking about it.
All right, we talked about it off the air, which is a waste. From now on, silence. Let's go to the Reverend Funk of Memphis, Tennessee. Yes, Reverend Funk, go ahead.
Yes, Jay, I was there in the 60s, and I wanted to point out to you that back then, they said that Negroes had odors. And that we
all right, get rid of him. Get rid of him.
I was just pulling up a James Brown song for him.
Really? You know what? That's like, that guy sounded like if Jeff Furlot took a shit and it could talk. That's what that guy sounded like. That's a long way from talent right there. Jeff's talented, but one of his shits, if it could sing and talk, that's what it would sound like. Let's go to Jason, who is in Charlotte, North Carolina. Yes, Jason, go ahead.
Jay, how are you? So I have a son that's a year old, and when he was born without eyelids. So
wait a minute. Eyelids or eyelashes?
No, eyelids.
Oh my God! How do they fix that?
Well, when they did the circumcision, they decided to use pieces of the foreskin
to
fashion onto his eyes. But a year later, now he's all cockeyed.
All right, get rid of this guy, please. Get rid of him also. Had me listening. By the way, the greatest kid thing, and I was going to have the kid on, but I don't know what his thing is. This little boy, 7 years old, loves Nebraska football. They had the big Nebraska spring game. They get him down there. They put him in a uniform, and you gotta see it on YouTube. And the quarterback hands off to him, and ESPN ran everything else, and he runs a 70-yard touchdown, and he's really fast, and it's really fun to watch. And for those of you that have never been in the huddle with, even if you're pretending and you know they're not going to hurt you, Garrett, there is a feeling when you see these big guys across, and I'm telling you, they have 300-and-something pound guys, and these big guys with you. This little boy who's got a brain tumor, brain cancer or something sad, was a couple of days before the surgery. They let him run the 70-yard touchdown in front of 65,000 people. And not that it didn't bring a tear to my eye or anything else, but it was really something. And with all the stuff that's said about football programs and stuff, and the coach there is from LSU, he's been there for quite a while. But I know this sounds crazy, but I'm a Nebraska fan. Never thought about them one way or the other. I'm a Nebraska fan. It's just a great thing. Not that other schools can't do it or probably have done it or whatever, but it's a big deal. You put a little kid out there, you get the helmet, you get the shoulder pads and all this stuff, and it's exciting. If they put you guys out there and you get in the huddle of a major college team and you know it's pretend and they're not going to hurt you, it's still exciting. It's still unbelievable. I mean, for me, even though I played small college and I played one game of arena football against the cheerleaders, Garrett, but nonetheless, it was arena football. It was, it was exciting. It is exciting to get into a huddle. It's weird. It's like, it's big. It's heaving. You know what I mean? It's, maybe the same thing. I'm not a basketball fan per se, but, there's just something about the danger and the heft. By the way, I was watching Barry Sanders yesterday. They were showing him. He retired at the top of his game and won't say why. And, oh my God, he played in Detroit. It's just too bad. I mean, they showed him, and, I knew he was great. He's the greatest running back I've ever seen. About my size, too. He has legs as big as my waist. And his son's a running back. His son's a great-looking running back, too, but thinner. Oh, man. No, I think he was.
He was boom or bust. It was either 80 yards or -5 yards.
Well, here's the other thing. He fumbled in some big playoff game, And they brought the Eagle guy that got the fumble and stopped them from getting the playoffs. They brought him on the show. He didn't look too happy. Let's go to Anthony, who is in Detroit, who I'm sure is a big Barry Sanders fan, right?
I saw every game he played, Jay.
Why did he quit? What, they were losing or something?
The goddamn Lions that year sucked, and they were going to keep Cocaine Wayne Fonts and Lomas Brown, those kind of losers. Not to mention Scott Mitchell was our quarterback, so he said, the fuck with this, I'm out of here.
Who? Scott? I never heard of him, and I'm a huge football fan.
He was like right after Dan Marino on the Dolphins.
No, I don't remember.
And he tore the league up. He came in like halfway through the season, and they, went undefeated or something for 5 or 6 games, and then Detroit signed him to this huge deal, and he just blew.
How about this guy Cobb from Philly? Same thing, right? And you know who else? What's his name? Cassell or whatever, the guy that backed up Tom Brady. He looked just like Tom Brady. Well, here's what you forget. You don't have that coaching staff when you move to fucking Kansas City, right?
Yes,
sir. It's like they hire me, right? Here I am announcing, and then I go to some terrestrial station and they go, we'd like you just to talk 4 or 5 minutes, and then we'll throw it over to the recipe lady. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean?
Hey, Jay, you know how you saw that little retarded kid or whatever it was on the...
No. He's sick with cancer.
What was it? I'm sorry.
He's got brain cancer. It's heartwarming.
Well, son, when have you ever seen a kid that small be able to score on college guys? I think something was up with that play. I think those guys were letting him score.
Get rid of this fucking guy.
No!
Get rid of this fucking guy, please.
They were diving at him. He was just avoiding the tackles.
By the way, he looked really fast and kind of big for his age, I have to tell you. Yeah, what a story that would be if he is okay and he,
How do I get to run a play with the Jets?
Cancer.
Still fair.
Well, and you have to make a wish.
That seems healthiest.
What?
Racism against healthy people.
Not racism.
Well,
no,
discrimination against.
Yes, discrimination against sick people. Well, it probably is. You should sue Nebraska and say you want to run too. And they go, well, what's wrong with you? Absolutely fucking nothing. I never felt better in my life. In fact, I just had a physical, and they say I may live forever. I just read this report that German scientists, maybe Christina, you sent this to me. Men look at busty women for at least 10 minutes a day, and it's good for their health. Did you send me this one?
Yes, I did. I can't tell you how excited I am about this study.
Staring at a busty woman like Christina.
How to get
Garrett must have been, he must be the most healthiest. It's because you have a monitor in front of you. You can't really get a good view.
You can't be, Christina, you're the most healthy or the healthiest. You are never the most healthiest. That's really...
Oh, is that what I said, breeder?
Yeah,
breeding?
that shows...
What did you
Breeded.
say? Breeded.
That was really funner when you said that.
A German study that's been published in the New England Journal of Medicine, or I wouldn't be speaking of it, concludes that staring at women's breasts, that's an inside joke, women's breasts for a few minutes daily is better for your health than going to the gym. I may live to be 150. I mean,
if that's the case, then all of you guys.
I'm not into breasts. I don't care about them. I'm just, it's asses and legs I'm into, and I do a whole thing. I'm in the car, man, and this girl, this just happened yesterday. She had a little tiny skirt on, and she was in her 20s, I think, going to work. But her long purse hooked onto her dress, Christina, and it had pulled it up, and you could just see her panties. And a car crashed into a light pole about an hour later. I'm sure she walked by. Dr. Weatherby spent 5 years monitoring the effects. Garrett, we got to get Dr. Weatherby on. That doesn't sound German. Sexual excitement gets the heart pumping and improves blood circulation. She recommends that men over 40 spend at least 10 minutes admiring D cups or larger. Man.
Can I make money off of this?
You have a D cup?
Yep.
Man, Those African villagers with the women don't wear bras. That's why they live so damn long. And those people that they find way back in like, the Amazon and stuff that they didn't even know existed, and the women are all topless, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's why they live. You always see some toothless villager. The elder. You always have a lot of elders.
We're not going to be able to get Dr. Weatherby on.
Is he dead?
The story is completely fake.
God damn it!
No way.
It's an email forward.
Would you not send me
Email
this shit?
forward.
They searched thousands of peer-reviewed articles contained in the National Institute of Health. Turns up 0 items documenting the health benefits of staring at
Boy,
women's
Christina.
breasts.
Well, that's a shame.
You know what?
What?
Your tits have made you dumb.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Well,
really, that
and by
really
the way,
insulted me.
Tweedledee and Titty Dumb.
Yeah, that's true.
No, that was clever. Thank you.
Let's go to Matt, who's in Maryland. Let's get off of this. Go ahead.
Okay, I've been playing golf now for several years, and I've only seen people playing with regular putters. What's with the long putter that people play with in the PGA?
That's just their back hurts or some shit, and they play with a big long putter. I think they outlawed them. I don't know.
It's a new theory where I don't know what it's called, in the lever, the focal point.
Yeah.
It doesn't move because you stick it to your chest, so you know that point's not going to move, and it gives you a smoother swing.
Matt, I'm going to tell you, do you have a regular putter, Matt? Putter?
Regular putter.
Okay. You may have to make the handle differently, and you have to look this guy up. You have to look up Paul Runyon. Paul Runyon, he's dead. I took golf lessons from this old, he was in his 80s. Paul Runyon never hit the ball more than 220 yards, was a PGA pro, and he beat Sam Snead, he beat all of them. Not a lot, but he beat all of them. And this is how he taught to putt. You take your two hands and you separate them, and your thumbs oppose each other on the putter grip, and you have to make the grip square, have a square grip. So when you putt, your wrists cannot break. You can never have they move a little bit, but your shoulders control the putt. And that's how I putted for years and chipped. And I'm not a great golfer, but I'm a really good putter and an accurate chipper. It's the greatest putting lesson I've ever had, and I'm sure they'll talk about it. A lot of pros have said if they were starting over again, they would putt like this. You just oppose your thumbs, your elbows are out, and your shoulders go back and forth, and completely loose hands. You will be amazed. All you have to do is move your shoulders back and forth. The ball will go in the hole every time. I'm not joking.
Fantastic.
Okay, good luck. Try that. It'll work.
Thanks.
Let's go gavel to gavel, Garrett. I see gavel to gavel action.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. I don't know what he's going to talk about. I don't know what trial it is. Alex, what is going on?
I just wanted to say that today is the 1-year anniversary of Trayvon Martin being killed, and that the trial is set to start June 10th.
That guy is going to get off scot-free.
Yep.
There's just, nothing there.
There was a hearing about 4 weeks ago where they tried to delay the trial, and the new judge on the case turned it down. And he looks like Artie Lang now. He is so huge.
Yeah, I mean, look, it was a terrible incident. He's kind of one of these, wannabe cop assholes. The kid, sad, but the guy's not going to jail for anything. Nothing.
But the Homeowners Association insurance just paid the family just under $1 million for a wrongful death.
Really?
Yeah, because that neighborhood watch that he was the head of was approved by the Homeowners Association.
I dropped the case, Garrett. I got the $1 million. See ya. Thank you. Sorry, my son's dead.
Jay Thomas.
It's the Jay Thomas Show.
It's all about the love.
The Jay Thomas Show.
Afternoons.
Indeed. Sirius XM 104.
5 in the hills of Arkansas.
Yeah, baby.
Brought my baby from the city just to show her just how pretty the Ozark Mountains are in the summertime.
Let's go to hillbillyheaven.com. And, of course, this is in Canada. Cameron Bailey, welcome to the Jay Thomas Show.
Jay Thomas, how are you?
I'm good. And where are you right now, Cameron Bailey? Where are you?
I'm sitting in one of my restaurants in Hamilton, Ontario.
Now, you have more than one restaurant. How many do you have?
We have 2.
Okay, 2 restaurants. Are they both the same Hillbilly Heaven themed type restaurant?
They are. It's a good name, don't you think?
I love it. I love it. And what do you serve? Because I'm from down south, Louisiana. And what do you serve? What sort of?
We do traditional Southern barbecue. So pulled pork, brisket, chicken, and ribs.
I made pulled pork over the weekend.
So did I.
By the way, that's Miss D Cup 2013. A woman that makes men's hearts beat over 40 years old and live even longer.
Well, I'm 50, so congratulations for that.
Well, that's nice. Now, listen, Cameron. So are you serving cornbread?
You know what? We did, and no one bought it.
Really?
Really. And it was so much, you know how much work it is to make it properly.
It is. It is.
No, we just gave up. It's like, if I'm not going to eat it, then forget it.
Wow. Did you put honey in it? Did you make it sweet?
We made honey, yes, of course.
Wow.
I know.
Is cornbread not eaten as a Sunday dinner staple? I mean, do they, like a lot of Sunday dinners, I don't know much about Canadian food. I've never even heard anybody use that term. Really,
I don't think it exists.
But when you were a kid and you sat down to Sunday dinner, did you guys have fried chicken because even up north, they would have fried chicken and cornbread and stuff on Sunday.
Get ready for an education.
Yeah, what would you have on Sunday in Canada?
You have roast beef and Yorkshire pudding.
Oh, English.
Canada is totally British.
Yeah, British. Okay. And so now you've got Hillbilly Heaven, so you got pulled pork, you have baked beans.
Of course.
Okay. Coleslaw.
Of course.
Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese, yeah.
Okay. So you got everything going there. You have iced tea, sweet and unsweet.
We used to bring iced tea up from Louisiana.
In a mason jar?
Louisiana. You'd make Louisiana iced tea.
There you go, exactly. And people, again, no, they don't want it. They want a Pepsi.
In a mason jar.
Well, yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. You know what? That's amazing. I mean, it is more English than American,
And it's less adventurous as far as trying new things.
Right. Well, I've lived for short periods of time in Vancouver and in Toronto, and you do have, great restaurants and French restaurants and all that other stuff. But at the same time, I don't remember having any quintessential, anybody saying, hey, we're going to have us a big, fabulous Canadian meal. You know what I mean?
I don't think that exists.
Okay. Now, some trouble has been brought around you because you have a Confederate flag over the door of Hillbilly Heaven.
We used to, yes.
You took it down?
My landlord took it down. It's a long story, and as you know, there was a lot of publicity and a lot of controversy over it. Canada is not the U.S. In my generation, we look at the Confederate flag as the Dukes of Hazzard.
Right, I agree. And in the United States, the slavery thing, and we've been talking about this all week, and the Masters, which is one of the most racist groups of individuals, the golf tournament. Oh, they're horrible. Yeah. And they barely have they have Condoleezza Rice is their token. I don't even think she's black, but she's their token black person and one other person. But the Confederate flag really has a different connotation here. Now, if you opened up a brat pub and you put, like the swastika there, I can understand it.
My God, everyone uses that analogy, and it's not even close to being real. And, did I know that we were going to have a little pushback from this? Yes.
Yeah, you did.
Know that it would blow up to the way it did? No.
You know what? I'm looking at it now, and it's kind of a small flag. It's a horizontal. I mean, it's like longer. It's not like it's not a huge statement.
It's 3 feet.
You know what? I'll tell you something. You do want something, though, in Hillbilly Heaven. I think you could probably get one of the death pictures of this guy from Buck Wild, who just died over the weekend, in the back of his truck. Do you remember the old cowboy days when they'd shoot the bad guys and they'd prop their dead bodies up for viewing?
You could probably just hire Enos from Dukes of Hazzard to hang out in your bar.
Yeah. You know what? You need something. Have you replaced the Confederate flag with something quintessentially Southern United States?
No, but listen to this now. I'm replacing it with my campaign sign because I'm running for city council in Hamilton.
Oh, you're going to put your name up there?
Well, I'm going to put Bailey 2014, but yes.
You got to put good old Bailey.
You know what? Actually, here's my campaign slogan.
What is it?
Fearless leadership and great barbecue.
Yes, I would vote for you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Now look, hillbillyheaven.com. For those of you that live, we have a ton of Canadian listeners, by the way. You're in Hamilton, or where? Oh, good. Thank you. I'm glad you have Sirius XM. But there's the old guy with the kind of the corncob pipe, which is kind of a southern guy, like a rebel looking, kind of a guy. There's Johnny Reb. There are lots of different southern things that you could actually, you may not want to do this, but you could change the sign, every 6 or 8 months or whatever.
Oh my God.
Something.
You're absolutely correct. That's my plan. But I'll tell you this.
You know what you'd want to do? You'd put up Ole Miss, which is the university, right? Yeah. And what those people in Canada wouldn't know is that Ole Miss doesn't mean Old Mississippi. It means the master's wife on the plantation. Now, your Canadians won't know this. That's why. That's right. That's why I'm whispering. So you'll put Ole Miss up there, and you would want to put. Hell, you could put Arkansas up there. The Suey Pig is kind of quintessential. You could start putting Southern universities. And you know what else? You'd put Southern University, which is a black college.
There you go.
Africa. Yeah, you'd put that up there. Yeah, I would change it up with great Southern things. Hey, and then every now and again, when they're not looking, you'd put a picture of a noose.
Yeah, we're never
something crazy. Something crazy.
We're going to put our logo up there, and I've had more complaints about the word heaven than I have about the Confederate flag.
Oh my! Now wait a minute. Why heaven? What is that problem?
That is like such a religious thing, and how dare you promote that? I've had that. I don't know if you've seen our logo, but it has a farmer with a bunch of smiling animals. I've had complaints about the logo being smiling animals that are like waiting for death. I've had complaints about hillbilly.
You know what? Let me ask a question.
Go.
I've been doing this a long time, and I
know,
I
you're
do
an old
know.
Man.
I am an old man. I looked in the mirror just when I'm on the break, and I haven't had a haircut in a few months, and I'm starting to look like Professor Earl.
That's why I don't get TV jobs anymore.
Yeah, I'm starting to look like Professor Irwin Corey. And if you keep saying shit like that, I'm going to hang up on you.
Yeah,
but now listen, Cameron, now listen to this. Here's the deal. Are you a guy that kind of would be considered an ultra conservative kind of guy? Or I would say that's all nonsense. Is business good? Are people coming in?
You have no idea. It gets on the front page of the National Post, which is like the USA Today in Canada. We were on the front page of the National Post.
So some tiny little, stupid little group who no one gives a shit about says they don't like heaven. It helps your business,
Absolutely. Every time we're in the paper, we're packed.
Good, because the food's good.
The food is phenomenal. Not even good. Yeah. It's phenomenal.
Well, you know what you need to do? Django is a great film, and one of the great things about it is that Jamie Foxx kills all of these white guys that torture black people. What you need to do is you need to have a cartoon made of a black guy with an old rifle and a white man on his knees begging.
I'll mention that to my campaign manager. We'll see how that goes over.
Because what are they going to say about that? I mean, and you put on there, Django lives. You know what I mean? You know.
No.
You need to put a Django burger.
You ruined the movie for me, just so you know.
Oh, by the way, it is. I mean it. I liked Pulp Fiction, but I didn't like anything else he's done, and he goes overboard. But Django is the bloodiest. You like barbecue and beef and innards? I'm telling you, they hide behind bodies, dead bodies. So Jamie Foxx and the guy Waltz, that great German actor, they hide behind a dead body while there's a shootout, and every time a bullet hits the body they're hiding behind, like literally a pork loin flies out of the guy. I'm not kidding.
Now I can't even watch it. It's ruined.
No, you will. You'll love it. If you like barbecue, you'll love Django.
There you go. Well, that's it exactly.
Well, I'm glad your restaurants are doing well. And what two towns are you in again?
We're in Hamilton, Ontario, which is outside of Toronto. A fabulous city. Let me tell you, if you ever want to come to a really good city of good people, Hamilton, Ontario.
Now, of course, a history professor at the University of Houston stated, this is the weirdest one, what kind of so-called Canadian patriot will fly the flag of a now forgotten nation that intended to attack his homeland? To me, this is outrageous. The Confederates were going to attack Canada? I've never read that one.
Look at you with the research, though. I'm very impressed.
But really, I mean, and this guy comes from the University of Houston. His name is Gerald Horne.
I read it. Here's the thing.
What?
The Confederates were actually trying to trying to get the Canadians, or at the time the British, on their side to say, okay, let's surround the North. And there was a lot of people that were for that.
Of course.
But, it didn't work out that way.
Well, you know what's funny? They're talking a lot about the War of 1812 and what was it about. And, the British burned our capital, which was pretty horrifying. And then, of course, the useless Battle of New Orleans. But one of the things that we were really trying to do, and they don't want to say it, is the United States wanted to overrun Canada and use the War of 1812 and the pressing of sailors and all that. They used that as an excuse. The United States did, to overrun Canada. And a lot of loyalists who had left the United States because of the War of Independence fought like sons of bitches, and that's really a victory for Canada. The War of 1812 was a victory for the country of Canada.
You're right. And you know what? I live near a graveyard or cemetery that has the United Empire Loyalists in it.
Absolutely. Wow. I mean, people don't know that. The War of 1812 was about us in a land grab,
Absolutely.
It's like the Spanish-American War. We got in it, but we took the Philippines, and we wanted Mexico, but we really wanted California.
And can you imagine how much debt you would have if you did take over Canada?
Yeah, but we'd have all that oil, though. Yeah. We'd have all that oil.
You have that oil anyway.
That's true.
Look at the.
Well, I'm glad you're doing well, and I love bar. Now, when you serve a rib, and I know this is a big decision, there's a million kinds of ribs. I happen to like the ones that you take that silver skin off the back of them, and then you cook them over some liquid for about 3 or 4 hours, right?
Yeah.
And then later on, you dip them in a sauce and you finish them over a fire. But then there's a dry rub rib or whatever. What decision did you make for these finicky Canadians on their ribs?
Okay, first of all, Canadians aren't really barbecue people, so there's a huge adaptation that had to happen.
No. By the way, I dated a Canadian woman, and they're so against barbecue, oral sex wasn't even something she enjoyed.
I'm married to a Canadian woman, and she enjoys that.
Well, thank you. Well, the woman I met said she doesn't like barbecue or blowjobs. That's what she said to me.
Here's
and I was
on the
shocked.
Barbecue. The other stuff I'm not going to comment on.
Sure, don't. I wouldn't if I were you.
She's sitting right in front of me, so I won't.
Yeah, that woman that said that is sitting not 2 feet away from me right now.
Oh, there you go.
Of course, she's mummified and dead, Garrett.
Dead and stuffed in the corner.
Yeah, she's stuffed right over here with a picture of Henry Winkler over her head. Now, go ahead.
All right, so it's dry rub, skin off.
That's what they like.
That's the way to do it. That's not what they like. That's the way to do it.
But that sounds kind of English.
Oh, God. You know what?
No, that sounds kind of dry, English dry. Not in a bad way. It's just a palate. That's all.
That's it. And you know what? Here's the thing. When I started the business, I had to make it the way I like it because I ended up eating so much of it at the end of the day. So now
that must be difficult because I love to eat and I also try and lose weight all the time and all that stuff. But how do you not eat that stuff all the time?
Here's the thing. Take your favorite food and make it your living. And I tell you, after about 6 months, you don't even want to go near it.
Wow.
But you're jealous of everyone who walks in the place.
Wow.
They love it so much.
Which barbecued meat is like the best markup for you? Like which is the cheapest to buy? But you
pulled pork.
Yeah, it is, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not even close. Wow. And that's the biggest seller too, because that's what everybody knows.
Yeah. Now, did the guy? Let's get back to why you're here. The Confederate flag at Hillbilly Heaven, which is in Hamilton, and where else?
Hamilton. That's it. 2 locations.
2 locations.
Oh, 2 locations in Hamilton.
There's like 500,000 people in Hamilton.
I wasn't putting Hamilton down. I wasn't putting it down. I'm glad you have 2 locations. Now, look, did he take it down himself, or did he demand that you take it down?
He's a 70-year-old man, and I'll tell you what, I got so much people yelling at me, so many people yelling at me, and I don't want to listen to it. So they went next door to him, who he has a little business next door, and started yelling at him. So finally, he's like, can you take it down? I'm like, yeah, I'll take it down eventually, but I got to get the sign made. 2 weeks, not even a week later, he's up on a ladder taking down this 6-foot sign. And he's like a 70-year-old man on a guitar.
Now, it's his building, and you're paying rent and everything else. But I bet you wanted to shove like a kebab up his ass. No.
Actually, I wanted to get him off the ladder. I don't care. Like, you know what?
Right.
People can yell at me all the live long day. But yelling at an old man, like, Jesus Christ, come on.
Now, hold on a minute. Melody Amato has just contacted us.
She's across the street.
She's across the street. She says, I own Modify Your Closet.
She does.
And I found that flag offensive, and many of my customers found it offensive.
Melanie, I'm not a bad man.
Hold on a minute. What is Modify Your Closet? Is that like, what is it, California closets, that kind of deal?
She's got some really kind of cool stuff in there. So, and God bless.
Hey, you know what you ought to start doing? When people finish with their bones, just hum them over there toward her place.
I'm looking out the window. I see her place right there. She looks out her window right now because I know she lives up there. Look at me, I'm waving to her.
Councilman Jason Farr, when we contacted him...
You did not.
We did.
Let me guess what he said. He said no comment.
No, he said he was looking into the issue, and he will not have a comment until he investigates further and see if he can garner any votes from the controversy.
You know what?
Okay?
I sat down with him the day the whole thing broke and said, Jason, the answer to your when the press asks you, it's not no comment. It's I don't like it, and I'm going to do whatever I can to get it down. And I gave him a bunch of business cards and said, Jason, this is going to blow up. Go out to the community, give them my card, and let's get a meeting together so I can back away from this. And he did nothing.
Yeah. You know what? Are you running against him?
I am.
Good. I am endorsing you now because you're outspoken. Thank God. Cameron Bailey. Now, here's the other one. Did you put up a sign that's your West Mountain location saying that things we don't have and never will have, and you had ethnic foods like halal, rice, kebab, and shawarma? Did that get you in trouble, too?
And burgers and fries and wings.
That's unbelievable. Did big fat drunks drive by and go, no burgers and fries? By the way, why don't you serve a burger? That's barbecue.
I'll tell you why. Because we don't have a grill here. So people would come in and yell at me why we don't have this stuff. Or if you're not like, a shawarma guy who would yell at me, you would come in and sit here for half an hour and tell me why I should have wings. And that happened at least once a week, where someone would come in and spend a half an hour explaining to me why we don't have wings or burgers, and it's a wrong move. I just said, you know what, I don't have time for this anymore. I put a sign on the window saying we don't have it. So if you're going to come in and talk to me, don't bother.
I'll tell you what, that you may have 500,000 people, but Hamilton sounds like the most bitchy town I've ever heard of. I've never heard of people. Oh no, I'm sorry. I know you live there and all, but I feel badly for. And the woman across the street whose whole life is dedicated. You know what? I'm going to yell to her. What's her name? Melanie. Hey, Melanie.
I'm waving to her right now.
Come out of the closet, Melanie.
She's cool. I mean, you know what? People got their opinion, and in Canada, everybody has the right to an opinion.
All right. So, you're too nice. You're too nice. I hope you get in. I hope you get in to office and put a hammer and sickle over the front door.
I'll tell you what.
Hillbilly Heaven, just to show him there.
The election is 18 months from now, so if you promote me every day, I'll win.
Yeah. You're right. You call me back. You call me back with 4 weeks to go, and we'll
17
play.
17 months, 30 days.
We'll play Dixie.
And send us mac and cheese and pulled pork.
Well, she's going to want something sent in. She can't.
I come for the food.
She came for the food, yeah.
Did you take over Waxy's Delicatessen that had famous smoked meats?
Who are you people? How do you know this?
We know everything. Yeah. Most unbelievable show you've ever seen. We dig deep. You know what? Put him on the Indie Grill. Put him on the Indie Grill right now. We grill people. Hillbilly Heaven owner Cameron Bailey from Hamilton, Ontario.
The greatest city in the world.
You're the greatest city in the world. Put it on the grill. Do you ever think you would have a kitchen fire that could jump across the street and really modify your closet?
No, but God bless her. I love her to death.
God bless her. Now, did you used to have a place there at Deli with smoked meats?
There was one here, but now it's a better place.
All right, thank you. Hillbilly Heaven,
so
delicious barbecue in Hamilton. Hey, man, thank you very much, Cameron.
Hey, no problem. I'll talk to you in a month to go.
Cool. Yeah, we'll be here. We'll be here, I think. I have no idea. I have no idea. Wow. That's not even a Confederate flag, you know.
I pulled up Google Maps to see if I could see the flag on that, and then it said Waxy's Delicatessen.
Yeah, they took it down. They isn't it amazing that we're talking about this all week? And as far as Canada, they considered it, like a negative, a negative thing all the way in Canada. But I didn't know that they thought that we weren't going to, attack them with what? With mules? We're going to ride our mules over there? We had nothing. They beat the shit out of us, Buck Wild was canceled, by the way.
And I think Teen Mom 2 also, which I'm devastated about.
Here's the weird thing. You have a show like Buck Wild, you're a producer. Hi, Harvey Aronson, how are you? Harvey, what are you up to? I'm doing Buck Wild now over at MTV. Every time I meet these producers that own these long-running reality shows, they are these quintessential old, former, network executives who did real shows, and now they own, these horrifying shows, and they make a ton of money. They would have stretched that out for a year, don't you think? You mean to tell me that after this kid, Shane, dies of carbon monoxide poisoning while mudding, and there is a picture of their last moments, they couldn't, in all of West Virginia, find another idiot drunk in a bar room? Are you kidding? They couldn't find another West Virginia redneck to put on the show?
Well, they could.
Yeah, why didn't they? And
I'm
then
not sure.
Mourn this guy. Mourn him,
I'm sure that part of it was that they're worried about their, reputation of what have you. Because immediately after that, then some of the cast members of Buck Wild were tweeting at MTV about how it's so unfair that their show was canceled. Meanwhile, they're displaying all these pregnant teen moms and stuff. Then the teen mom kids started fighting via Twitter with the Buck Wildcast saying, hey, don't call us out. We're all family here. But now they're saying that both shows are canceled. I think they're just worried about their reputation and what's happening because on the teen mom show, there's, these girls are going away to prison. They're on drugs. They're hitting their boyfriends. There's all kinds of domestic violence, and there's violence against the girls and then their mothers. So I think that they're just worried about their reputation at this point. And plus, the mayor or governor or whoever of West Virginia is appalled by the Buck Wild thing. So he might be thrilled to death that
it
it's
might
over.
be a Rockefeller, Garrett. Might be a real Rockefeller, not the one that was just convicted of fake one.
Clark Rockefeller or whatever his name was.
Yeah, whatever, his liar. And he had a German accent. He kept telling you it was a Rockefeller. Yes, but I'm from Wiedenwatten. The weirdest text was the one guy from Buckwild said, it's easy for you teen whores to say we're all in the same family. Really dumb. I mean, I don't know about teen moms, but Buck Wild had legs. It would have continued for at least another year, and they could have had a casting.
Jersey Shore. It was kind of a combination of Jersey Shore and, I don't know, some hillbilly shit.
John of Panama City, Florida, where I went to the great Gulf Coast Junior College, and they don't even, I've gone on their website, they don't have a picture of me, nothing on that. They don't even know I was there. Yes, John, go ahead. It's where I started my career, Panama City, Florida, as a high school football announcer. Yeah, go ahead, John.
I wanted to let you know when you were speaking to that gentleman with the hillbilly heaven, and you were talking about blowjobs and his wife liking barbecue.
Yeah.
He set you up for a home run joke, and you did not say it. I don't know if you know the joke, but you should have said, your wife doesn't like barbecue, huh? And he would have said, no. And you said, well, put your meat on her grill with the blowjob.
Oh, stop it. Put the meat on her grill. What do you do in Panama City? Do you live there?
I grew up there. I'm a truck driver now, but I grew up.
But you don't live in Panama City.
Well, I live just north of Panama City.
Now, when you go back home, do you have a lot of wild friends that live in Panama City, the Redneck Riviera?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm going to take your phone number. I got an idea for something.
Let me know.
Okay, good. Thank you. There's that guy out there going, I wrote him a note, said I had ideas. He didn't tell me to call. No. This is an idea I got. It's about Panama City. All right. Thank you. I wrote your number down, John. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Same time, same numbers that we give to the FBI, Garrett.
I was going to say, you tricked
CIA. Him. No, I didn't trick him. I'm really calling.
Oh, you're not really going to forward it to the authorities?
No, he didn't. He didn't say anything. He said something about barbecue. Let's go to Derek, who is in Ontario. Yes, Derek, explain Canadians and their love or not love of barbecue. Explain it to us.
Jay, we love barbecue up here, okay? Problem is down in Hamilton, there's so much pollution, there's not enough oxygen to start the propane barbecue.
Wait a minute, I don't know anything about Hamilton. It's got what's the industry there that's polluting?
Everything, the steel industry, there's just so much down there. It's right beside Burlington and the docks. I'd rather lick the sidewalk in Hollywood. Like, unbelievable.
Well, I'm glad you didn't call when we had the restaurateur on, because he wouldn't have. He was defending the woman from, sit in my closet or whatever the hell she owns.
Yeah. Well,
can you imagine? There's a million things you can do, and your store is called Clean My Closet or some shit. I don't know.
Modify your closet, but mod is really big and closet is really big. So it's a modify your closet.
Making it modern.
Yeah,
right?
mod closet, yeah.
And when you answer the phone, hello, Modify Your Closet, Jay speaking. How can I help you? I would eventually put my head in one of the closets and slam the drawer until I was dead.
Repeat.
If that's what of course, Eric, I know that.
Okay.
It would take more than one slam to kill me.
Tough guy.
Thank you very much.
All
right.
She looks a little edgy, though. In the street view of Google, there's naked mannequins in her store, and she has little signs. I can't read what they're saying, but taped over their breasts and penises.
What?
Yeah. There's like
modify your closet?
Yeah, the one guy is just wearing a tie, and it's a completely nude mannequin. There's some sign taped over his penis.
Would you get the guy from the barbecue place back? They're complaining about the Confederate flag, and they've got anatomically correct, mannequins across the street at Modify Your Closet?
Now, this is when Waxy's was still open, so I don't know.
Oh, they took that down,
I don't know.
So do you want them or not?
So wait a minute. It might have been another store.
Okay.
It's definitely in Modifying Your Closet, but I just don't know if he was there at the time they did this.
Well, he knows that town.
He does.
He's running for council.
He has to know.
Get him back, Christina. Lift that phone up and get him back.
On them back.
Pull it like a trigger, baby. You like that? Pull it like a trigger. Let's go to Mike of Utah. Mike, I know you've traveled the width and breadth of this great continent. Where do you get great barbecue in Canada?
Nowhere. Hell, their bacon's round.
The bacon is round.
No shit.
That's true.
Well, yeah, but anyway.
Well, you know what? I will tell you that my dad, I tell you, he was in the oil business, and they would send, kind of really cool gifts at Christmas time, various investors and guys that he used their services. And every year, man, we got this big thing of Canadian bacon. And I tell you, I love it. I do love Canadian bacon.
Hell, it is ham.
It is, but it's a good ham. So, all right, thank you very much, Mike of Utah.
Hey,
Cameron Bailey, welcome back, owner of Hamilton's greatest barbecue place. Maybe the only barbecue place.
No,
Hillbilly Heaven.
Good.
We sent a drone that we own over there. This woman across the street, before you owned the your place, she had mannequins that had tape or something over the genitalia.
You're right.
Mannequin. Yeah. Now, what is that about? How dare Melissa from Modify Your Closet, where does she get off complaining about you when she had stuff that little boys and girls would walk by and look at it and then ask their parents about, anatomically, improper questions about the male and female body? What do you think?
You're right. You're absolutely right. Because when all this started and she was on the news, and then we live right here.
Yeah,
and
I know
looked
you do.
Across the street, and all her mannequins were naked, not taped, straight up naked.
Yeah.
And it's like,
now, have you ever said it? You know what else? You need to put a sign up there and say, we put sauce in our meat. We don't serve it naked like some people across the street.
I'm like a liberal guy. Do whatever you want. I'm not going to complain. But, she's on the radio or on the TV complaining about what we're doing. It's like, holy Christ, lady, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah. What's her deal?
Do you remember what the signs said that were taped on the boobs and penises?
There were signs
on the... They weren't even taped. They were just naked.
But Garrett says there are signs. It looks like she put messages on the bare breasts of the women mannequins.
Yeah.
They could.
Wow.
You know
All
what?
right.
God bless her. No one's going to complain about that, but the flag, oh my God, it's a nightmare.
All right. Well, thank you. Well, Cameron, we're giving you ammo. Okay?
Listen.
Ammo.
Bailey 2014.
You got it.
Thank you.
Bailey2014.com.
There you go. You know what? Slow cooked and dry rubbed. I'd put that on there if I were you.
I'll talk to you next week.
Bye-bye. Next week. Every week we're going to talk to him. James of Toronto. If I landed in Toronto, where would I go for barbecue? Now, that's a city of, 2 million people? 1.5 million, something like that?
About 2 million in Toronto.
Where would I go?
Where would you go? I have no idea, Jay. I was just calling to say that Hamilton is a known shithole.
Oh man, I've never been to. I don't know what is in I've been to Calgary, which is kind
nice.
of
the
Cowboys.
that he's on. There's like rock tees, letterbox, modify your closet.
I don't think
you
folks have been to Hamilton in quite a while. It's become gentrified since
I've been to Hamilton. Went to Harbor Bay Grill not too long ago.
Okay, and it's a shithole. All right.
Everybody is in wheelchairs, big fat women in wheelchairs. It's a shithole. It's an old steel town. It's the Buffalo of Toronto.
That's true. As I go
it's
strolling
the
down
Buffalo.
the street, there's 3 rascals parked in front of Jabroni's Bar and Grill, I guess.
You know what, Garrett? You're like, I swear to God, you're almost like these people that run these drones that are killing, insurgents. I mean, you'd be great at that.
Thank you.
You would be. So, all right. Thank you so much, James.
Thank you, Joe.
Ed of Toronto. It is Canada Day on the Jay Thomas Show. Yes, Ed. Go ahead.
I'm actually going to Hamilton on business next week. I'm going to actively seek out Hillbilly Heaven. I've heard about it before. Hamilton is a little bit misunderstood. It is definitely a steel town. That's where our steel industry started, and it's right on the kind of the asshole of Lake Ontario, and they've kind of polluted a bit. And it's a little bit nasty, but it's also a college town, so it's known as a party town because of McMaster University. So
McMaster is the name of the school?
McMaster.
Right.
McMaster University.
McMaster.
Well, it's like
McMaster.
And Mohawk College.
And oh, there you go.
And the Royal Botanical Gardens.
I like to go there in the winter and see the ice plants.
Well, there's ice plants everywhere today. We've got ice storms all around.
I know you do. I've been to Canada. I lived in Canada. I've done it all. I never drank so much in my. I did a movie there, a Disney movie called My Date with the President's Daughter with Dabney Coleman. And one night, we drank everything in both of our mini fridges. Everything. I'm not joking. Everything. Now, we had people over, but my fridge was empty. No, his emptied first. I go down to my room and I get, everything out of it. Every Snickers, booze, wine, whatever. We emptied both of them all night.
We love barbecue in Toronto and in Canada as well.
Now, Dabney Coleman, I think he was killed, but he was on Boardwalk Empire.
He's dead now?
No, in the show.
Oh.
Yeah, they killed him on the show. I love Canadians. They believe anything you say.
Eugene Levy and Martin Short from Hamilton.
Yeah, Canada. I love Eugene. I love those guys.
Yeah.
All right,
we have a higher percentage of foreskins now in Canada, too.
Wait a minute. Now, hold on.
I'm gay.
Let's go to Bubba of Georgia. Stay right there, Ed. Keep Ed there. Now, Bubba, you say you've left Georgia and you visited Hamilton. For what reason did you go to Hamilton?
For a wedding. I was in a wedding. My friend.
How was that?
Oh my God.
What month?
Oh, I told him I got out. We flew to Buffalo.
What season?
And across the border.
What season? What month was it?
December.
Oh shit.
No bullshit. Nobody gets married in Hamilton in December.
Oh shit.
They did. It was terrible. I told them.
We don't like you guys very much, do they?
Hold on, Ed.
The first day it gets warm, you need to get the pressure washers out and hose off your city with bleach water.
Oh!
Yeah. This fucking Ed guy. All right, get rid of Ed. Ed's a little noisy. I will tell you a story about Toronto, a real story. We were there doing, there was a ton of movies being done there, almost like in Louisiana now. And they were shooting a cop show there. And it was supposed to be New York. So they got an alleyway, and they put garbage cans around, and they put graffiti all over the alleyway and everything else. And they had, burnt out cars and all kind of stuff parked and everything else. And they'd been shooting, in this alleyway, right? So nightfall comes, and because Toronto, maybe they do now, they didn't have very much crime. So they didn't really, put a guard there or whatever. When they came back the next day, apparently some cleaning crew had come, cleaned all of the graffiti, picked up all of the staged trash, and had the cars towed and everything else before the next morning when they started shooting. It's that clean of a city, isn't it, Toronto? So Toronto's spotless, right?
Well, I'm still here, so I'm sorry to tell you, Jay.
What? What?
I was in Manhattan last May.
Yeah.
When I came back to Toronto after my week in Manhattan, Toronto was dirtier than New York City.
Oh, maybe that's the economy. All right. All right. Thank you, Ed.
Love you,
ruined it for us. Thank you. Now, earlier today, a guy called up. He was not very funny, and I equated his lack of humor to if Jeff Furlot had a shit that did material. We actually have on line 2 one of Jeff Furlot's comedy turds.
Idaho!
All right, come in, Jeff Furlot's turd. Come in.
How's it going, Jay?
Oh, no, you can't use that. No, you can't use that voice. That's not the turd voice. Nope, I don't care what voice you use. No, we're not. No, we're not doing that. We're going to go to a break.
Is it like spicy rice?
Yeah, well, we'll have a new turd voice in about 2 minutes. There we are.
Jay Thomas.
The Jay Thomas Show.
It's the afternoon show. Sirius XM 104. The Jay Thomas Show. Indeed. Sirius XM 104.
Oh, I love this song. Wow. Yeah, baby. Man, I played this at Power 106. Bum, bum, bum. I was listening to myself the other night online, Garrett, reliving I'll live forever. I'll never fucking die as long as the internet's alive. On demand. I was doing it all. Yeah. And then the singing starts, and we drink coffee and talk on the phone. Let's go now to Jeff Furlot's unfunny turd. Hello, yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yo, man, what's going on? I work for McDonald's, and my manager, his name was McMaster. He was a real slave driver.
All right, get rid of him. Get rid of the turd. Get rid of it. Idiot turd. Now, I don't know this woman, Katie Pavlich. Is she on Fox, Christina? Because Ice-T...
She's a Fox News contributor and also an author.
Is she a liberal? Because she said something about Ice-T.
So what happened was Ice-T and and a friend of his tweeted out a picture with a photo with guns to their heads. So this Katie Pavlich woman from Fox News says, "Hey, at Final Level," which is Ice-T's Twitter, "thanks for continuing to promote the reckless and dangerous gun culture in America, comma, jackass." And then she showed the picture. And then he responds.
And he said, "Fuck off, bitch."
Yes. And now they're in a little bit of a heated Twitter war.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the one I like, Garrett. "I used to be a respectful gun owner who watched Law and Order. Maybe I should rethink my decision." Oh, oh my God, come on. Come on. He's a fucking gangster, a dumb gangster. What's his wife's name? Olive Oil? What's her name?
Coco.
I knew it was something.
Her ass is
I knew it was some
else.
sort of her ass is big.
Her ass is something else.
She can literally put a beer, glass of beer on her ass while she's standing, and it's like a shelf, and it just stays there.
Yeah, she could probably crush beer cans with her cheeks, too.
Oh, and I don't think it's fake.
No, it's not.
Yeah, they did a test or something.
Yeah. Well, they did that to Kim, but hers is definitely not fake. Coco's.
Wow.
Is it true the Kardashians had a vagina smelling contest?
No.
Huh, I'm not sure. I know that there was an episode where Courtney was very stinky because she refused to deodorize herself.
Kim and Courtney wiped a towel on their vaginas, and Khloe had to decide whose vagina
I wouldn't put it past them.
I bet you. Yeah, you know what? That's called jump the twat.
They're always like,
That's when you're out of ideas on a reality show.
Each other's asses and stuff. They're very touchy.
Well, what a waste all this material is, Garrett. It just goes, people are talking, I'm throwing lines out. By the way, the other day I mentioned a woman that I had dated years ago in New York who was Miss USA or whatever, and her name was Lexi Brockway, and I said her real name on the air. And I guess you did, Christina. Someone sent me. She was really
self-help or something.
Her name now is Lexi Brockway Potamkin. I love when they marry some, Potemkin. Isn't that the Cadillac dealership in New York? Isn't it Potemkin or whatever? But anyway, so she's still a good-looking woman. She writes these books called What Is. Like her newest one is What Is Peace? Peace is something we all want more of in our lives, yet the way in which we experience peace is unique and individual. What is peace? Messages from the Heart is a powerful compilation of quotes and inspirational thoughts. What she does is, she does what is death, what is love. She does exactly what these guys do from Chicken Soup for the Soul. They've never written a thing. They just get quotes, they get people's stories, and they reprint them, and they become millionaires. Can you imagine, Christina, if I'd have married someone like this, and I came home and what are you working on? Oh, well, I'm doing What Is Peace, my new book. Pennsylvania Governor Ed Rendell, actor Steve Guttenberg. What? Vice Admiral, U.S. Navy. Okay. Diego Hernandez. I mean, are you kidding? Former Miss World USA, Lexi Brockway Potemkin, has been working for several years. God, not that we were going to get married. What is laughter? Me laughing at your shit. God. My brother said something in front of her, and she left our place and never came back. He described his wife's cesarean section as just like when he gutted a catfish and they took all of the insides out and laid it up on his wife's stomach. Her drink, the ice in her drink melted in her hand. I'm not kidding you. And she was up and out of there. I go, are you nuts? And I don't remember anything. Obviously, if I dated her more than once back then, it wasn't hand-holding, you know what I'm saying? But, I don't want to say anything. You know me. I don't want to say anything. I'm not the kind of guy to talk about people. This guy, Mitch McConnell, by the way, Mother Jones magazine, these fucking magazines are ridiculous. This guy, Mitch McConnell, says that something like Nixon and Watergate, they bugged his office, and they heard him saying that really good ass Lee Judd was like mentally unstable, and if she runs for, the Senate against him or whatever, and he's saying that his office was bugged and the FBI are working on it. But now people think that it's just one of his people did it, and sent it out because they think he's like an old fart, Do you remember when the guy went in to the Acorn office and dressed as a pimp? Yep. And had a woman with him? Do you know that didn't happen? Do you know that the guy went in there with a girl, but he was dressed in a coat and a tie? Then later, he laid in the pimp outfit. He photoshopped it, videoshopped it in. And the woman, when they started talking about it, had already called the police and humored them, and that's what you were hearing on the tape. Now, wow. He had to pay a fine. That just came out. He had to pay a fine. He had to apologize to Acorn. And when you watch fucking Hannity, who I'll never go on again, they'll never have me on again, he'll never put on the air that none of that shit that they accused Acorn of actually happened. Not that place, didn't have fucking idiots working at it, but I don't think anybody's bugging Mitch McConnell's office in Kentucky or in the, when did they sneak in, in his Senate office? I mean, come on. What an idiot. One of his own people doesn't like him. Yeah. By the way, since the gun thing has started, every day, and I know this is the anti-gun lobby, they are finding every gun story they can find. Woman killed by 4-year-old in Tennessee at a cookout. Kid goes and gets a gun, comes out, shoots the woman at a cookout. These are planted. Not planted. I mean, they're fun. Then they had a 4-year-old who just shot a 6-year-old in the head with a gun the other day. I mean, just pick up any newspaper, go online. It's unbelievable. Now, I know these things happened, but it's got to be the anti-gun lobby that's just inundating, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, they go in their grandpa's house. They go in grandpa's drawer. That's why grandma and grandpa need to have a vibrating butt plug in there, Garrett. That's what my niece and nephew found in my mother's drawer once. Some sort of butt plug or something. Now, my brother blamed it on my mother, but he was living at home with his 18-year-old wife at the time, and I'm pretty sure it was their equipment. And, you know, the kid found it or whatever. His older kids found it and brought it out. And my brother was trying to tell me that my mother, you think she said, "Oh, my God." You bring out a butt plug in front of my... Oh, my God. Oh, Warren, what do you think you're going to be? Wow. Yeah. All right, tomorrow morning, Howard 101 will continue this incredible
12 hours.
Nothing.